Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Countdown Podcast. This is episode 498. We are doing part two of our camping story, which we did last week, finishing up the story. This week, we've got, of course, myself, Evan, and then we've got Austin,
Hello.
Soren,
Hey.
Samuel.
Hello.
So those are the regulars. And then today we also have Jack, which we had alluded to him last episode.
He's
He
from the
was
last
on
one.
the camping trip, so we thought it was appropriate to get him in here to talk about it. So Jack, how you been?
I'm pretty good.
Pretty good. Okay, so what just really quick, what were your thoughts? If you could just like quickly summarize what you thought about the camping trip, what would you say about it?
All
How
right,
about-
he's
how
got
about-
nothing.
It
It was well, yeah. I don't have anything to say. There was a lot of stuff that
Beyond
happened.
words.
How about three words? If you can describe it in 3 words, what words would you pick?
Or two.
I don't think I could describe it in 3 or
Okay.
2. Probably just crazy.
Crazy?
All the
Okay,
words
yeah,
I want to
content.
say.
Crazy.
All
Yeah,
the
you
words
know
I want to say, I can't say.
Okay.
You're right. You're right.
All right. So I'm just saying.
Okay.
All right.
We're off to a brilliant
Dude,
start.
I'm just.
All right. No. Yeah. So yeah, Jack is here. He was on the camping trip. So yeah, he was a main character on the camping trip. We'll probably have him on for a lot of other episodes. You know, we grew up with him, so you know, he might be back a couple times. But we thought it'd be appropriate to get him today because he has some valuable perspectives for this trip because
True.
you know he was there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
do we just want to give a little recap of what happened last episode or what we discussed last episode? Because we got to night 2. We didn't finish everything, but we got to night 2 of 3.
Mhm.
So what do you guys have like anything in
Well,
particular that you wanted to recap? I guess
I just
just
basically
the
happened.
main points.
We got there. We moved stuff a mile. Night of debauchery. Woke up this morning kind of disheveled. Ate a lot of food. Went swimming, and then night 2 is basically where we left it. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of drinking and smoking involved, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'd said last episode that every night seemed to get worse. At least for me.
I would agree.
Just in terms of like how much like
I think
substance abuse.
things really started to amplify as the weekend progressed in
think it
many
was-
different areas.
Yeah.
Not just substance abuse. It was more than just that.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, there's some big things that happened night 3 that we will get to.
No
I will say,
spoilers.
though, I said that, but I'll be
Some
honest. I
foreshadowing.
think I was reflecting, and I think night 2 actually may have been the worst for me in terms of how just like
Yeah, that was,
unbelievably
that-
faded I was.
I think that was one of the substances
agree.
were at the we still had plenty of alcohol.
Yeah,
But that's the night we
had a
ran
lot.
out
I
actually.
think I was just gonna say I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that's when we just kind of ate and drank the rest of what we had.
Yeah, yeah.
And we had a majority. I don't think we had all that much, or we had taken all that much the first night, so we had quite a bit left over.
Yeah, we did. So and then we finished off all the shooters that
Yeah.
night. So
It's like-
that's
yeah.
like
We'll get into it.
25.
yeah,
Yeah,
it was
I think
quite a bit of
easily
shooters.
That was the worst night for me. This third
yeah.
night was pretty bad, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are we gonna get into the stuff that we missed from night 1? There's a couple things.
yeah,
that we ended
yeah, I
up
think we
missing.
should go over some stuff we missed because yeah, we were reflecting on the first part, and we did realize we forgot some stuff, so maybe we go back. We'll have Jack here to give his, I guess 2 cents on some of
Yeah.
the stuff from night 1. Or
This
the
is a
first
good
night.
segue onto the first thing that we missed that was pretty eventful, which was the shoe throwing incident.
Ah, yes.
And I want to
Oh,
mention
yeah.
that I was
Jack?
not involved in the shoe throwing, so this is gonna have to be told by everybody else.
This
Here.
is the big tent. Yeah.
Yeah, so while
Oh.
Blake and Soren were sleeping in the other tent, everybody else was in a different tent
You want to
basically
name the
all.
names real fast?
Yeah, yeah. It was
Everyone
me,
listening.
Evan, Samuel, Jack, and Joey. We were all in one tent, and I. Does anyone remember how the shoe throwing started?
I
You
I'm
I
pretty
think
sure you
started it.
slapped. I think you slapped Joey with a shoe, and then
Yeah.
it prompted him to throw it, and then
Yeah,
things just kind of
yeah, and they
descended down there.
were like tennis shoes, were like too, right? They weren't
Oh
just
yeah, no, yeah, they weren't like flip flops. They weren't anything soft. They were like hard
yeah,
tennis shoes.
yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
because you would take your shoes off before you get in the tent, and this is night one, by the way. We're going
Yeah.
back a little bit.
Hmm.
yeah.
But yeah, you take your shoes off when you get in the tent, and I really don't think it matters who started it, but
No.
all that matters is that shoes were being thrown while people were trying to sleep.
Yeah.
And
And also the
It
tent
was-
was pitch black, so no one could like. It was hard to
Oh,
tell where the shoes were or where they
This
would
is
come
a
from.
this
You
is a
couldn't do anything
very
to
important.
prepare.
This is a very important detail.
Yeah, yeah. So I think the main culprits were me and Joey who were throwing the shoes. Maybe Evan, you threw a couple. I
I threw
remember.
a couple. I would do it sneaky though, and make it seem like Joey threw them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I couldn't tell at all. I mean, Jack, I think you were just like sleeping in the corner, right?
I threw some. 'Cause
Oh, yeah,
I
you-
was,
Yeah.
I was just too tired to like deal with it, so I'd just lay down. I'd find the shoe and I'd just throw it as hard as I could the other
Yeah.
way.
Luckily, I didn't get hit. I guess let's do the layout of the tent. It was
yeah,
it was
yeah,
it was
yeah.
it was Evan, Joey, and Jack on one side, and me and Samuel on the other, and I was the one throwing it at them, and they were throwing it back at me. Luckily, I didn't get hit really hard that many times, but I guess
We
I'll
can
let
kinda-
you take this away, Samuel, because this is kind of
Well, to kind of paint the picture of like the layout of the tent, it's a pretty much just a big square tent, and so on the right side of the tent was it was Jack, Evan, and Joey, and they were all laying next to each other, vertically with the right side of the wall, and I was laying horizontally with the left side, and Austin right next to me. So, I guess from what I remember, it was started out with Austin hitting Joey in the leg with his shoe, and then Joey prompted to grab a shoe and throw one at him in retaliation. And then I can just remember like keeping my head down and just hearing shoes just hit the backside of the tent, and it's just
that went on
Wind.
for a couple minutes.
Wind.
Like it
yeah, it was bad. I was pretty much just like laying facing the tent wall, just praying nothing hit me, and while Austin and Joey are just like trading shoes back and forth. I guess
Yeah.
you were kind of doing the act more,
yeah.
but I was more just trying to protect myself.
Well, yeah. So yeah. At some point, right? From what I remember, is I think it was Evan. You said, "Oh, Soren's here" or something like that, which obviously he wasn't. He was in the other tent sleeping.
Wait, what? I don't
yeah,
remember saying
Or
that.
someone said it. It might
I'm
have been
sure.
Joey or
I'm
you.
sure I probably did. I just don't remember.
Yeah. So and then I remember right after that, you Samuel, you looked up to like see or something. Either that or it was completely unrelated.
Yeah,
But
Joey said, "Yeah, I remember this." Joey had
this
said
was
that
the-
because this was his little scheme, and it ended up working.
Yeah.
This was the end. This marked the end of the shoe throwing, where the victim was myself, because
Yeah.
I was pretty well, I wasn't gone, but I was definitely intoxicated, and I was like, I poked my head up to like greet Soren, and then I just get whopped right in the nose with a shoe,
Yeah.
and then like I fell immediately back down onto my pillow, and just like, because I was drunk, I just remember holding my nose and just like moaning.
Yeah, I remember that.
How much my nose hurt, and
Yeah.
like I was like, I convinced myself and like had a mini panic attack in the corner that my nose was broken, because I was like,
yeah, we
I
were
was
throwing them
moving-
soft.
No, no, not at all. But I was moving my nostrils back and forth. I remember, and I convinced myself it was my whole nose, and but I wouldn't say anything. I was just laying there, just moaning, just thinking that you guys broke my nose.
Yeah, I remember Joey was apologetic. Like he was kind of obviously wasn't like, woohoo, I got Samuel, like. But so yeah, that ended that, and I'm pretty sure actually that was the end of the night. I think
Yeah.
shortly after that.
I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which there was a couple other things that happened before. I guess we probably should have started with that, but yeah. So
I
Samuel got hit in the
will,
face. I remember you definitely went to sleep after that, Samuel, and then
Yeah,
think
no,
everyone
I
else-
was done. I was knocked out.
I went back to Soren's tent and went to sleep because I remember in the morning Joey asked you how your nose was doing,
Oh yeah.
and but yeah, so
it still hurt.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
I will say I think throughout the whole thing, because I was kind of crossed at that point. I remember just like there was a point where I just kept like blocking my face because I thought for like 30 seconds that a shoe was like coming at me. So I was just like, I'm sure I look like an absolute like insane
Schizo.
person.
Yeah.
Just like standing
no
there
one-
like waving my hands at like some invisible thing. And
no one could see.
also, no one could see. And I sort of use that because every time a shoe would come to me, I'd throw it up and it would land on Jack.
Yeah,
I would do that to make him think that Austin or Samuel would throw it.
Yeah, and then Jack
He
would throw it back.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
sorry, Jack, but that was actually me.
it was his scheme.
That explains so much now.
Yeah, so I guess before that, I think it was right before that though. It was me doing a bit of trolling to the tent.
Yeah.
And so I think it started with I was outside the tent, and I would go behind people when they're sleeping and like push on the tent where they were to like, mess with them.
I fell
And-
victim to this quite a few times.
Yeah. And so and there's a little slit through the tent where you can like it's like kind of mesh netting or whatever, and you can see through. You have to like lift up a little part of the tent. And I remember putting my face there and like looking through and turning on my flashlight. And I remember I did it especially to Joey. I was sitting behind Joey for probably like 5 minutes where he kept like I think he definitely heard me because he kept hitting the tent expecting me to be there. And I remember just waiting for like 5 minutes for him to think that I left. But yeah, and then I think after that I had to take a pee and I pretended to pee on the tent, which I was like, I'm peeing on the tent, Samuel, because it was your tent. When in reality I was peeing like right next to it, which was funny.
I think I might have been unresponsive.
No, I think yeah. But yeah, so that's what we missed from night one is the shoe throwing and me doing a bit of trolling.
Yeah.
And other
It
than
was
that,
the wind down after the night.
yeah.
Well, you could say wind down. Nothing really got wound down.
Yeah, and at
No,
some point,
no.
I don't know if it was after that or before. It was before the shooting. At some point, we were going into Soren's tent and messing with him.
Mm.
And so yeah, that's kind of how the night played out. And then, other than where we got to on night two, I think we didn't really miss much. We probably
I'm
missed some
pretty sure we
stuff
got-
during the day, but it probably wasn't that important. But yeah,
I
so
mean, we haven't talked about.
Oh, is
There's
it-
still some more things
Yeah.
we should definitely talk
yeah,
about.
on night two, I'm just saying like during the day.
Night 2, yeah.
Yeah, but
Right.
night two is still some stuff. And Soren, I think you would be perfect for telling about the toothpaste incident and
Oh my God.
the wrestling. I guess I think you should take
don't-
that.
Yeah. So,
I think I was here for the tooth.
in case you guys don't know,
you weren't
we
there.
like to
Oh,
get a little bit
yeah,
rowdy
you
from time to time.
Luckily missed it.
And I don't usually end up wearing clothes. Either a shirt or pants or something in between usually gets torn off of me, either by myself or by one of my compatriots here.
Soren is the epitome of the oh dude, I need a napkin meme where the guy just gets his shirt ripped off
Oh yeah,
for a
Yeah,
napkin.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
literally Soren. But it's
Yeah.
just all of his clothes.
So on this particular night, everybody was bored of fucking with each other, and because I was trying to sleep, they decided to fuck with me instead. which is what that's just how that
It
goes.
happens
Yeah.
a lot. It happens a lot.
Because
Um,
you're,
usually
I don't mean to
part
say
of
this, but you're kind of easy target. You're always the one to go to sleep first, so it's like
Yep.
obvious.
Yep.
It's literally just like
surely
the-
I'm to blame for this.
Yeah, you
Of
are
course.
definitely.
Happen again
Of
on
course.
Friday.
Oh yes, it will.
Yeah.
We're doing it. again.
So the 3 of these, I'm sleeping basically, or I'm getting close to sleep. I wasn't sleeping yet. I was getting close to sleeping, and 3 of these goons walk into my tent.
No,
was
bro, it
fucking
was like
Austin,
it was everyone. I
Evan,
think it was everyone.
Yeah, I
and
think it
Jack.
has been everyone.
Austin, Evan, Joey, and Jack. So 4 of these goons sneak into my tent, and I just see them standing there across the other side of the tent, menacingly, just doing nothing. And fuck, I'm having trouble remembering exactly how it went
we were
down. I
shining
think-
flashlights. I remember.
Yeah, they were just shining flashlights at me and staring, and I was like, "Hey," and they were like, "Hey," and we just sat there in awkward silence for a
Yeah.
moment.
And at
And
that
I-
point though, that was when Blake was super high, right? He had taken like
Yeah,
6 edibles and was also
It's
in the,
6 edibles.
he was in
Yeah.
the process of also going to sleep. So I think he was pretty confused as well.
yeah.
Either
he
that,
didn't
no,
even
no, no.
say anything.
Wait, no,
He
no,
was so
no, no. I'm
confused.
pretty sure he came with us. I think he came with us.
He was in the tent already.
Yeah, I
he was
think
Oh,
sleeping with me.
oh,
I
yeah, yeah,
remember.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
sure.
I think
You're
you're
thinking
right.
of night 3.
So, eventually, at some point, I don't remember exactly how it happened, but they started grabbing for my sleeping bag and telling me they were gonna do mean things to me, basically. And then they started going for my pants. And if you know anything about me, it's that I don't like having my pants pulled off by 4 grown men. So I decided that the only way to retaliate was to go for other people's pants. So I
Yeah.
lunged at Evan, got on top of him, and tried to start ripping off his pants to the point where I was like hoisting him off the ground a little bit by
I
his
do
pants.
remember that. Yeah. I do remember that.
It made
I
you
guess
a
I'd like to
formidable
mention,
foe, honestly.
This
So-
sounds really bad. It sounds really
This
bad. I
is-
think we all know this, but this is like, I think you could probably agree. I mean, maybe not, Soren, but it's all in good fun. Like we're not trying
This
to.
is pretty
we're
common
not- we're
behavior
not-
for
we're
us,
not
and it's something we're
trying to
used
hurt
to,
each
and it doesn't
other.
make anybody uncomfortable at all.
Oh.
Like this is
Yeah.
just something we do for
Except
fun, I
except for the
guess.
fact that Soren's usually not happy that he's being woken up in this manner. Usually that's what you're angry about.
Yeah, ironically
Yeah.
enough, I actually don't mind having my clothes ripped off me that much. I more just don't like waking up.
Yeah, because Soren retaliates pretty hard. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
I know for sure Joey is scared of you because he
Yeah,
would not
and
go first. He
Joey's
knew
a,
it was.
Joey's a big guy. Like Joey.
Joey is bigger than
Joey's-
me by
Joey's
quite a bit.
Strong and like.
But I'm fucking
yeah,
aggressive, I guess,
Yeah.
because he did
Yeah.
not want to get in there when I was pulling Evan's pants off, and everybody sort of backed off. I think
Yeah.
Austin
Yeah.
backed him up a little bit.
I
and
may
then
have-
I sort of
I remember though. I want to add. I was towards the other side of the tent while at some point I think you were going after Evan, and I think you guys were like, or no. This came after. Sorry. This came after. I'll talk about this later. So I guess yeah, you can
Okay.
continue.
So then eventually I basically just let go of Evan because I'm like, fuck, his pants aren't coming off. And then I sort of zeroed in on Joey because his pants looked looser, I guess, at the time. And I went for his pants, and unfortunately, in gripping his pants, I gripped both his pants and underwear. And then I think you guys know where this is going, but I reached the other hand to grab his actual pants, but I grabbed his underwear again. And when I pulled, I just ripped the underwear apart because I was grabbing it in two places. And
Yo, you know what I'm
and
just
yeah, and then I-
realizing? You know what I'm just realizing? That's revenge for your underwear that last camping trip.
yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mentioned that actually when after the fact
Yeah.
to Joey. But yeah, so after that I let go of him, and then I think and then I think I realized there was toothpaste over the tent somehow. There was toothpaste in different places about the tent, and I'm like, how the fuck did we get toothpaste in the tent? And turns out there was an open thing of toothpaste that somebody had opened, or maybe it had burst open, but it had fucking gotten all over the tent in the wrestling match. And I was like covered in toothpaste, and I didn't even fucking know it.
Yeah. I love how you're more bad at that than.
It was really random. I will say so. This was very late in the night. Like a lot of stuff. The nights
2 o'clock in
the
the
nights
morning.
would seem to
Yeah,
like
literally.
they would seem to go in phases where you'd be around the campfire for a little bit, or it would be the setup of the campfire. You'd play music, and then you would start drinking, and then you'd maybe start eating, and then devolve, and then it would get into the tents, and then it would be really bad.
Yeah.
But I remember going into the tents, and at first I think I was just kind of spectating a little bit. I was kind of watching Joey and Austin kind of poke the bear, and I think I was just like sitting next to Blake, and I think it was like things were starting to get real, and then I think that's when Soren grabbed me, and I was like, I didn't even do anything. I mean, I'm sure I probably deserved it, but I think I was wearing a belt, and that's what
Yeah.
had kept my pants on, because I remember,
that's why I
this
gave
was-
up.
This was it was so late, so like I was just really like tired and like kind of out of it from
Just being crossed.
and I just like at some point I just knew he was like hoisting me into the air by my belt, and I was like, oh my gosh, what is going? Like how did this happen?
Oh, that's good. That's
And
good.
I think after he let me go and started chasing the others, I just went to go lay down in the corner of the tent.
Mhm.
Yeah, you were just
And
hiding
that's
there.
when the like I remember waking up and Soren was wiping toothpaste on me. And I was like, what?
Yeah. Okay. And I'll take
that
this
was
time.
bad, bro.
I guess I'll take
Oh,
this
sorry,
time to talk about, because I was in the corner with Blake at some point, and he was super high, and we were kind of just like almost cowering, to be honest, because it was basically like a wrestling match, and we didn't want to get like jumped on or something. And I remember he like kept looking at me really confused, and
Blake?
yeah, Blake, because he was super high, and he told me the next day, he explained it as like his vision was like going at less frames per second or something, and like
Yeah.
if people move
He
too
was
quick.
talking about universes were being like the stereotypical
Yeah.
high universes were being created in my mind. It
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
like,
No, I think
was
it might have been
super
Sean
weird.
about that, but he told me that like if people moved too quick, he would like lose them in sight and like couldn't see where they were. So I think that's why he kept looking at me, because I was not moving. Like I was just sitting next to him. And so he'd like look over to me. He's like, "Dude, where'd they go?" or something like that.
Recalibrate.
Yeah, like so he was just like, I think he was the most scared out of anyone. Like he was just like, "What the
You were-
fuck?"
You were the only thing he could see
Yeah.
that he could actually just process.
Because I
Imagine
literally
waking
think
up
everyone
to
else
that,
was moving.
though.
Yeah, I think everyone else was
Imagine-
moving, so he like couldn't quote unquote see them.
Imagine waking up after taking 6 edibles and seeing like just what was going on. Like I think I'd be scared too. That would
Yeah.
be like genuinely terrifying.
Yeah. So basically, yeah. I guess I'll let you guys continue with the toothpaste.
So after I found the toothpaste, I don't remember why. I don't know if it was because I was angry about the toothpaste, but you guys all left the tent and started running. I don't remember why. Fuck. Why did you guys leave the tent?
I don't know.
'Cause
It must have been
They're
because of
probably afraid.
toothpaste.
Anyway, so I found the toothpaste. I got pissed and I grabbed the thing of toothpaste, which
That's
still had some
probably why
paste
we
left
ran,
in it.
because you were pissed. I think that's
And
why
I
we ran.
started- And they started all scrambling out of the tent, like these 4 guys. And Joey tripped and fell. And I fucking jumped on top of him and held.
No, dude, we were
What?
hiding behind the tent. Me and Joey were behind the tent, and you came out around the tent and chased us, right?
Okay.
Because you're talking
And
about when
then-
you jumped on him with the toothpaste.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
no,
he tripped and fell at one point.
Yeah, no. Me and him were right next to each other. I think Evan and Jack ran a different way, and me and Joey were
I
behind
know.
the
I
tent.
think I was in the tent. I think
I was
sleeping in the tent.
sleeping
Oh
I
yeah,
think
okay.
Jack and I were just
because
Okay, so yeah, you guys
all
might
I
have left it-
remember is like I woke up at like 2 o'clock. I think it was 2 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
and all
Yeah.
I heard were some very unpleasant screaming.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, no, but I remember me and Joey were hiding behind the tent, and you came out like looking for us, and me and Joey both knew we were screwed, and we ran around the tent where there's like, it's basically like the tent and then like a tree in the way, and then the other side is like basically just the woods, and we both like tripped on both each other and the tree, and like both fell on the ground. And I remember it being like I remember we were like, I knew we were fucked. Like like if you wanted to get us, you could at that point, because you were like right behind us. And luckily you went for Joey. So that, I think that's, you jumped on Joey right after that, and I ran away more.
Yeah. So
And then
I
yeah,
bounced on
I
top of-
Can I
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say this is really funny because it's coming back in waves as you guys are describing this because I remember
Yeah.
somebody hitting the tent and I remember like stumbling out of the tent, probably drunk because I just couldn't put two and two together to figure out what was going on. But as soon as I got out and I saw you and Joey behind the tent, my mind was just like, this is normal. And then I went to the bench to go eat food or something. And then I remember like watching this whole thing just unfold before me.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I
Oh, I
guess
love that.
so when we tripped, you jumped on Joey and I ran back behind the tent, and I'll let you continue from there because obviously.
Yeah, so I jumped on top of Joey after he tripped, and I didn't even like register that he had tripped. I just knew that he was down, and I had like an opportunity. I didn't really think about it at the time because I was probably fucking drunk and high as well.
Yeah.
But I jumped on top of him and I held the toothpaste to his neck because I knew if he moved, he would get fucking toothpaste all over him. I just held him there, squeezing the toothpaste really lightly to his neck and going like, "You better not fucking move, Joey. I'm gonna squeeze this tube of toothpaste on
Oh
you."
my god.
That's horrifying.
That's probably why he's afraid of you. Holy crap.
And anyway, I just very slowly was like, "All right, you're gonna get up and you're gonna go back to your tent and you're gonna go to sleep." And then yeah, he did that.
Yeah.
He would
Pretty
be
soon
glad
after.
to-
And I actually
glad to
did.
do
I guess
that.
I squeezed the tube of toothpaste too hard in my toothpaste-induced rage, and he got toothpaste all over his neck. So I guess it wasn't even a threat because there was probably no toothpaste left after I fucking squeezed it all over his neck on accident.
Yeah. Yeah. And then yeah, so yeah, you went back, right? And then
And then I think I went to sleep finally.
no, you didn't, bro.
no.
You're forgetting.
I'm forgetting.
Yeah,
What
bro.
happened
Remember,
after that?
I was hiding behind the tent. Remember? And then you came back there,
Oh yeah. Fuck. What happened?
dude. You don't remember? You
What?
threatened me with the
I can tell-
toothpaste.
I can
Yeah.
tell-
Yeah.
remember.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
I
gosh.
came back with the toothpaste in my hand, and I pointed it at Austin. I don't remember what I said. Do you
I-
remember what I said,
It
Austin?
was probably just a vague threat.
It was
you
just a vague threat.
because I thought I was safe. I thought like you didn't know I was behind the tent, but you just knew, like, because I was like crouched down, like you couldn't see me from where you were on top of Joey at. So I thought I was good, and then you came back. I was like, oh, and then you probably threatened me or something with the
Yep,
toothpaste.
And then I was holding the toothpaste out with 3 fingers, like my thumb, my pointer finger, and my middle finger. And that's important because Austin went to put the toothpaste in his mouth, but instead, because he was drunk, put the toothpaste and all 3 of my fingers like halfway deep into his mouth. You guys know, you know how I feel. It felt very gay to me, and it made me so uncomfortable. I
Dude,
just
I
fucking
remember.
booked it. I booked it. I was like,
No, bro,
fuck, no, ew, God, fuck, why, oh, God.
Bro, I in my defense, bro, I knew that was the only way I wasn't get toothpaste sprayed on top of me, and
I had like a fucking breakdown, dude. I couldn't
yeah, bro,
handle it.
yeah, dude, you were pissed, like you're like, oh fuck, like it was bad, and after that you went to sleep. I remember.
Can I
Oh.
just add real quick? I think night because this is night 2, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Or is this
Yeah.
night 1?
This is
Yeah. So our neighbors had already moved in at this point, and they remember from last time I mentioned the pod
Gosh.
on the previous episode, they were probably about, I want to say like maybe like 30 yards, 40 yards from us.
Yeah,
so they
you
could
could
see
their
definitely,
tent.
they could definitely
You
hear
could
everything.
see. I think the only thing you could see part of their tent, and sometimes when they had a fire, you could see smoke. And if they were playing music loud, you could hear that, and maybe some like
Yeah.
talking. Usually, you couldn't
Well,
make out what they were saying though. But yeah,
Yeah.
we
But
were.
it really was in the middle. It wasn't
Yeah.
like there was no roads or anything. It
Yeah.
was in the woods.
But they were also like partying that night, so it's not like we were inconveniencing
I'm
them.
pretty sure we were out, like
Maybe.
knocked out
Yeah,
by
well,
2 a.m.
Maybe, but whatever. They were.
They were partying pretty late. I remember
Yeah.
hearing the music like as I was like, I don't remember how long.
If anything, they
you were
get the
sucking
deal.
on
They
Austin's
get the deal.
fingers.
They never came over and said anything about us being too loud. Obviously.
No,
so.
no, they didn't. But I do remember the next day, all of us going over to apologize for the noise.
Yeah.
I didn't
well,
apologize.
Yeah, I didn't. I guess we'll talk about that because I wasn't there, so you can talk about that.
Okay.
But so yeah, I think that was the end of night 2. Is Soren went to sleep disgusted. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I went to sleep. I felt victorious that cause honestly, I didn't even yeah, you must have been right. Like I was definitely drunk because I didn't remember putting your fingers in my mouth. I thought it was just a toothpaste cap. so you know, I went to see. I was like, yes, I won. You know, and I think I was like a bit nervous that
won,
you're gonna
man.
do something. So I slept in the other tent that night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because
They gave me peace.
yeah. So
And
yeah,
it's
after
not
that,
being
I think everyone went to sleep. That was the end of night 2.
That's the one thing I learned very quickly about that trip. If you're sleeping and it's like 3 o'clock in the morning and you hear screaming, you just gotta stay where you are.
Yeah, you better not to get because it might be you next, honestly.
Because if you go out, you'll get involved.
Yeah.
It-
Yeah.
I think that was unfortunately where I was at. I was really too like cross to really do anything, but I was involved, so I was like, I
Yeah.
ended up with toothpaste all over me.
Yeah.
And
No,
I felt pretty defeated by the end of
We
the night.
never
You should've been
figured
grabbing my
out.
sleeping bag.
Yeah, dude, the toothpaste was everywhere. I remember like
Actually, I think I probably deserved a lot of that because I think even though I was staying behind everyone, I think I probably did help to get your sleep.
You were gripping at my sleeping
Yeah.
bag, bro.
Yeah,
Don't
I
even. You might have
definitely
been.
was.
You might have been
And-
too cross to remember it, but you were feeling my shit up.
and I just
Yeah, I
wanted
mean-
to add at some point I remember you were grabbing my pants as well.
Who, me?
I don't remember.
Yeah,
I don't think I got very far, so I just.
Dude,
and you were
I
pretty
was like-
slippery.
I wasn't
So
wearing
I
a
just
belt, and
kinda-
I like you didn't get my pants off, but there was a point where I thought you were going to. I was like, oh fuck, and I was drunk, so I'm like, I was like barely even
Probably sounds
resisting.
So bad.
Yeah, bro, it probably does, but like,
Whatever. We're
I don't know.
alright.
It's funny to us, dude, and
Yeah, we're
all of us
normal.
are. I should mention that none of us are actually gay. We're all straight.
Well,
We're all
for
straight.
that we know,
doing this.
that we
50%.
that we know, bro.
Yeah, Soren.
Someone's
What?
50%.
Why do you think I'm gay?
Because you admitted to being
You kind of
50%
admit it
gay.
every time we say it. Like every time we hang
Oh,
out,
gosh.
we say you're gay, and you just admit it.
I
There's
mean,
not-
I just
There's
don't,
not a whole lot.
dismiss the allegations. It doesn't really matter to me because I'm not gay, so I just, doesn't
But
really-
you admit it.
I think we
Mm.
also
really fine.
I think we also all have talked about, like, at least me and Soren, we talk about, like, usually the more gay you act, the straighter you are.
a lot
Oh,
of
that's
times.
just-
Yeah,
that's how it
if you're-
is.
if you're
Like-
afraid to
it's
act,
definitely-
act a little gay, then
Yeah, it's really, I think
you might be hiding it. I don't know.
I think most male friend groups are very similar.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%. Just
Yeah,
go
I-
on Instagram. That's all you see.
Yeah.
You talk to like any guys who are on like a high school hockey or lacrosse team, like
It get
the
yeah.
stuff that happens in those like locker rooms is 100 times worse than I think
Yeah.
anything we probably
I-
Is
have.
there like
I-
a lot of ass slapping and ass gripping?
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys shower together. I can say I think we've never all showered together. I mean,
No,
I
no.
fucking-
I don't
Any
think
two of
fucking
us have
hope
showered
not.
No,
together.
okay.
Anybody has actually seen anybody
I-
Dude,
else.
I
part of the
fucking
group
hope
naked.
not.
Okay,
No,
okay.
we're-
Let's continue on
We're-
before
okay,
we.
Yeah, we're not gay. We're not gay. So
Yeah,
Yeah, let's not pull up any more evidence against us.
Yeah, we'll get.
Man,
We'll,
the more
we'll-
we try and convince you guys that we're not,
Yeah,
the
for
worse
real.
we are.
honestly, we probably are already cooked. But yeah, let's get to the third morning.
But it's funny.
And I think this is a good time to bring up the fact that there were no outlets out there. So basically, the only time we were able to charge our phones was when we went 2 trips to the store or something, to
Yeah.
in the car, and I think that was
Mhm.
literally it.
Yeah.
So-
my phone was dead the entire trip.
So yeah,
Yep.
it waking up that that's a second morning. Yeah, second morning.
So is it-
Basically,
yeah.
all of our phones were, in the red range or dead. So we were kind of like wondering what to do about that. So yeah, we woke up, and that's when wait, did you guys leave for a trip to the store early morning?
I think so.
I think you did,
because
because
there was-
you did, because then me and Soren,
you guys made breakfast.
we made
Mhm.
pancakes.
Yep,
Yeah, but it
yep.
was a giant sheet of them.
It was
was-
basically
one giant
They're
we
pretty
we cooked it on a rectangle propane stove, and it wasn't big enough to really do multiple circles
like a
of
cookie tray.
pancakes. Yeah.
It was
So
like
we
a
ended
smaller
up
cookie tray.
we tried to, and it didn't work. And me and Soren were kind of just like, okay, well, what do we do now? Because So we decided to make one just giant rectangle pancake out of the entire stove surface. And
Yep.
that worked pretty well.
Yeah, they were good enough.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I will say
Yeah.
by that day we were running out of stuff to
Toilet
you know.
paper.
Yeah, toilet paper
Yep,
was one of them.
that was
I think the trip that morning was to get like toilet paper and I think more firewood.
Yeah. I think it was
Did we-
that,
I don't think we-
some plates, wet wipes,
Yeah,
syrup.
because we were running out of stuff. Like it was.
I don't
It-
think we ever got toilet paper.
We got
No,
we got
didn't. We just got
No,
wet wipes.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think we forgot. Or I suppose
no, we got the wet
Yeah.
wipes.
Yeah, we got wet
we
wipes.
did get the wet wipes.
Those also ran out basically by that morning.
I think maybe it was day 2 when I mean there was like on average probably 2 trips to town a day.
Yeah.
I mean I suppose
Mhm.
if you
Yeah,
don't
we did
count
really
the first,
poorly.
yeah, we
Yeah.
as we said this in the first part, we planned this pretty poorly. I mean it went great, but we could have planned better. But I think it was maybe the second day when I think it was that we needed toilet paper because we didn't bring any.
Mhm.
I think I was talking to Blake and I asked him what the odds that they remembered toilet paper were. And
Oh, from
of
day
course,
one.
yeah, of course,
Yeah.
like the people got back and no toilet paper. So
Yeah.
we
Luckily, there
forgot.
was like a one roll in the outhouse near us.
That got
so
used up like immediately.
Yeah, it turns out like when the neighbors came in, they like used all of it immediately. So
Yeah,
so
fucking dumped it all out, dude.
yeah, it was like on the floor, right? Like
Yeah, bastards.
it's
Yeah.
so gross.
It was
So
torn up too.
yeah,
It wasn't.
so
It wasn't like in clean sheets. There was like holes in it and everything. I'm like, who
Yeah.
is eating the toilet paper in the outhouse?
yeah, so yeah, I think it was me, Soren, and maybe like I can't remember. So there might have been one person like still there sleeping or something, and we were making pancakes. I remember it got cold because you guys took forever.
I think
And
Evan was there, because I remember it was me,
Yeah,
Jack,
Evan
and
was
Joey
there.
went to the store.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was there, but I think I was still kind I was
What?
just
Your mic
mentally
just cut
prepared.
out.
Your mic just cut
Yeah.
out.
Oh,
I
I'm
thought it might have
sorry.
been
Say
mine
that
for a
again.
second.
I think I was there, but I think I was just sort of riding out
Yeah.
the last night, like mentally, like recovering from it all.
Yeah. So we made pancakes that day. I can't remember what. Yeah, I think we got more firewood and stuff from the store because we had ran out by that time. We were running out of basically everything. I remember our water bottle or our water situation. What we did, we had two of those 2-gallon jugs and a 24 pack of water bottles, and we basically ran out of like water bottles day one. So my idea was, we keep our water bottles like the ones that are drank and we just reuse them.
Which
And
worked really well.
and we slowly ran out because I think people are throwing them in the fire or whatever. They're just like throwing them
Yeah.
away, but it lasted us the entire trip. And then we would drain the 2-gallon jugs into the water bottles and then fill that up. There's like a well pump at the end of the trail, like the mile-long trail. So we'd fill them up there and we'd be good. So that was our whole water situation. And yeah, what was the first thing we did day 3? I can't remember if it was. I think
So we're on day
guys-
2 right now. We're on
No.
morning 2.
no, we're on
No,
morning
we're on
3.
day 3.
Right. But I'm just saying the pancakes. That was morning 1, or that was morning 2.
No, that was
Or
morning
is that
3.
morning 3? That was morning 3.
Morning 3.
Oh
yeah.
wow.
Didn't
Okay.
you guys go
I-
swimming?
I think I remember at some point it was me. Oh, it must have been in the morning. Yeah, everyone left to go do something. I think Blake was fishing. Evan, I can't remember where
Yep.
you were, but I remember Soren was sleeping in the tent and I was rolling just like I was rolling. We ran a call at
Yeah.
that point and I rolled like 6 or 7
10.
joints and I was just
Yeah.
like because it was just me alone with no phone or anything. So I was like, dude,
No,
what do I do? Like
I think when that point when you rolled all of them up into bulk, I'm pretty sure it was Jack and I who were there who made it back from the store. Because I remember sitting next to you when you were rolling, unless if you
No,
did
that
it
was
earlier.
day 2. That was day 2. Because I remember I had been rolling them all when. Oh wait,
Yeah,
no.
he rolled like 6.
No.
day
Yeah.
2,
No.
and then
You're
the
right.
rest day day.
Yeah, you're right. That was day 2 that Soren was sleeping and I was.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I was rolling next to you guys when you guys
Yeah.
had returned because that's all we
Yeah.
had for the night and we obviously couldn't be sober.
Yeah, and then I think this is where it segues into me going over to the neighbors to apologize for
Oh
the
gosh.
noise, and then they were like, "Yeah, no, it was fine," and like they didn't say like, "Oh, we couldn't hear you." It was just like,
Yeah.
"Nah, you guys are fine." So it
Yeah,
just
I
made me
think they
think,
got
okay,
the
yeah,
deal
they
that
they
we're.
can hear us.
They were there for the
Psychotic.
same reason we were, which was to have fun, and I don't think they really
Yeah.
cared that much.
No.
But you also promised
Yes,
them something.
I did a funny. So I originally, so when I walked over there, I walked over there with Soren and I think it was Joey.
Yep, it was Joey.
And we walked up there, and the original plan was to just apologize for the noise and then to invite them over to smoke because Austin had rolled like 10 or 12 joints.
Right, and I was
Um,
gonna do it, but then I'm not very socially good, so we
No,
decided to send you instead.
well, no, that's not quite what happened. You had just like decided. Well, no, you didn't decide. Like it was put on to you, and I was like saying like, no, Soren, you probably shouldn't do it because you're kind of socially inept. So
I'm
much.
really
I love you.
sorry you
I love you
found
so
out.
much, Soren. I love you
Steve,
so
we
much,
should have
Soren.
sent me. I wouldn't
He's
have. I wouldn't
working on
have.
it. He's
Whatever.
working on it. He needs
Continue.
practice.
Sorry.
No.
We
But
should have sent him.
because they would have thought he was a psychopath.
Dude, you went over there at some point and you would have looked
Oh
like
my
a psychopath.
gosh.
I was worried about you but I mean you were
He was.
you were
I was
drunk at that
drunk.
point.
I
But
was
Yeah.
very, very drunk.
but honestly, I think
mean,
Soren wouldn't have done what you did when you went over there.
yeah. So I'll expose myself. I'll rip the Band-Aid off here. So the original intent was to invite them over to smoke, and that's not what happened. I got really nervous because we were kind of just like ending there. So I was just like,
And also, they
and
were only teenage girls. There was no more guys.
Yes.
and they were
Yeah,
also
I
way younger
I
than
should
us.
emphasize. I should emphasize. Yeah. So when I was thinking about this in my head. I'm like, it would be really weird for like 4 guys to walk over who knew that there was other guys there, but there weren't any guys present. So it'd be really weird if like 3 big-ish in comparison to them guys had just invited them over to like smoke weed. So I had
Yeah,
to, I was
I know you
thinking
guys
really
were
quick on
intending
my
to invite
feet.
like everyone, like not just that. So
Yeah.
it wasn't the
Yeah.
intention to be weird, and that would have been weird. So yeah, it was probably a good thing you decided to not do
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah. So I thought I was trying to think on my feet, and it kind of just came out. I'm like, "Yeah, we're gonna make some dinner later. You guys should come over." While saying that, running it back in my head, we have no food.
yeah, we
Like,
did not have. We
no
barely
food.
had enough food for us. So
Something we didn't have, and we were considering eating the SpaghettiOs, which I will
Yeah.
explain later as to why I'm not a huge fan of SpaghettiOs.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
This is
I'm not
this is
really
Okay.
a picky eater normally, but I have a specific thing against SpaghettiOs, and we'll get to that. But
Yeah.
we can continue
Yeah.
from where we left off for now.
I,
favorite
I,
food?
I just remember you coming back and someone saying like you promised them specifically hot dogs, I think,
Yeah, I did.
which we
I
did
did.
not have.
No, we
a
had
single
0.
hot dog.
We had
and
0.
and you
So
like you
then-
offered him food. I'm like, bro, we don't even have enough food for us. Like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah, it was so weird because I was just like, well, dude, it was
yeah,
either just that or I just stand there in awkward silence because I wasn't gonna offer like clearly two
Yeah.
underage
Yeah,
girls weed.
they're probably in high school, I would say.
Yeah,
looked like it.
Yeah.
Upperclassmen probably.
but also probably partying and drinking. So like,
They were probably
At least-
around Joey and I's age. Maybe probably Blake's age. 'Cause
Yeah.
he's a
So-
year younger than Joey and I.
Yeah, so it was then at this point where I immediately saw my blunder and I was just like, well, fuck, now I have to go to the gas station and go buy some hot
yeah, I
dogs.
think
So
that's when you guys left for the store, and you also needed like
Yeah.
firewood and all the other stuff. So that's when you guys
Yeah.
left.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys had anything happen in the meantime while we were departed. I mean,
I don't
it's just
even.
Other
I don't
than-
think so.
other
I
than
think me and
cooking, I
Soren
suppose?
just hung around, and I think he went
Yeah.
back to sleep or something after making pancakes.
No, I actually went to the store with them. I remember
really?
because I bought the hot dogs.
Oh, that must have
Oh,
been
yeah.
after.
I
So
don't-
yeah,
Yeah,
So
I walked up after we got back from the store, and you guys went back into that like little area or whatever it was called to play Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
that's
was when you
right.
guys were
Yeah,
throwing
yeah,
the
yeah.
football. You want to tell them about
yeah.
the football?
So yeah, I think at some point we realized, like, I think it was especially you, Jack. We were like, yeah, we got to charge our phones just because, that'd probably be a good thing to do, just so we
I think we
have.
wanted music was the
Yeah,
big thing.
we
I
wanted
think,
music.
the
We wanted to.
speaker was dead, and I think my phone was dead, which
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
we
there,
wanted
so
music.
so yeah, at a certain point, there was this pavilion area which had clean bathrooms and chargers and air conditioning. So we decided to go there for a bit, charge our phones, and kind of just hang out, like play board games or whatever. And so I think once you guys were done grabbing the food, we just hung out there for a bit. I think you, Samuel, and Soren played Yu-Gi-Oh! I think Jack was just chilling, and me, Evan, and Joey were playing with this foam football that they bought at the store.
No, I think we were Soren and I were playing
Some card game.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
we were
We
playing
yeah,
weren't out in
we were
the open,
playing
exposed to this game of football.
Yeah.
we were
No,
playing
yeah.
Ride the Bus.
Yeah. Before we played a bit of blackjack, and then yeah, you guys were playing Ride the Bus, and we were playing with that football, and yeah. So I guess Evan, you want to tell about that?
I mean, yeah, it was, Austin, Joey, and I had this football in a pretty small building, and like we would just be whipping it at each other as hard as possible, so it would just like slam into the wall or into like the window. I mean, it was foam, so it wasn't gonna break really anything.
The building was maybe like 60 feet by 60 feet. It was
so
it
it
was
was-
tiny.
We weren't really playing catch as much as we were just playing like throw it as hard as you can at the other person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and also
Um,
Samuel and Soren were playing in between this, at least
Yeah,
in
we were,
between Evan
Like right
and
in the
me.
middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there would be times where we just throw it at them.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It,
was-
and
no, we
it was
didn't.
so
Yeah.
funny you guys say that because not once did it ever hit me. It only hits Soren.
Yep, it hit me all right.
I remember
Oh,
I
yeah.
aimed at your cards once and knocked a couple cards over, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
Hilarious, but yeah, I mean, there would be like other people who would walk in, like hikers, and we were, I think we tried to be pretty respectful of
You
their
guys would-
space.
You guys would dial it
no.
back like slightly, and
Yeah,
as soon as they
we
weren't,
would keep playing, except we would just like we'd still throw it as hard as we could, but just not in their direction.
Yeah.
Um,
Also,
which,
no one complained about it,
sometimes
so
sometimes it would roll over there. They toss it back to us. They were
Yeah.
good sports about it, but
yeah.
um,
Yeah, and we never
yeah,
like threw it at them or anything. We're not
No.
that
Yeah,
evil.
that would be rude.
Only
That
at
would
Soren.
be
Only at Soren.
Yeah,
only at
because
Soren.
it's only funny when it's at me.
Yeah, it is only funny.
Otherwise, it'd be lame.
No, I think one of the people who walked in said to throw it at you, so I
Yeah,
Right,
Yeah.
of course. Why
he
wouldn't they?
told, yeah, no, they
Yep.
told me to.
the
He thought it was
voices.
really funny.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And yeah, I think other than that, I think it then got to a point where, Joey, Austin, and I think we wanted to go swimming again.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yep,
yeah.
yep. So after that, I think Soren, you said you'd join us at some
I said I
point.
was going to, and I got caught up playing Yu-Gi-Oh,
Yep.
and we went somewhere and did
4 games.
something.
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
don't
So
remember what,
I
but
guess
anyway, ended up
I
playing it
don't
the
know
whole time.
I don't know what you guys did in the meantime when we were out doing our stuff. I guess
Not-
you can.
It wasn't
Other than-
super eventful. We
Yeah.
just-
It was basically
was
just
just
playing
BS
Yu-Gi-Oh
and
and having a
playing
good
cards.
time.
Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, I guess me, Joey, and Evan got up to some shenanigans that we'll talk about.
We did.
So yeah, we went to the lake. We went back to that dock that we talked about in the previous episode that we were jumping off of. And we played more with we had that football this time, so we played that 500 game where you like throw it up and you say a number.
Mhm.
You go and get it. And I remember it was exhausting. Like after a while, none of us wanted to play it because it was exhausting swimming out that far. And there's
It
a
was
time
pretty cold. Like it was like
Yeah.
It was just like you'd get out of the water to like throw again, you'd be drenched, and like the wind would be
Evan, your mic's
so
cutting out.
cold.
And I wasn't there, but I know from before that water was disgusting.
Yeah, it was
Like that water
it-
was
it-
fucking gross.
it
dude.
wasn't that bad near the dock that we were jumping off of.
Yeah,
it
but
was more-
still-
Yeah, but it was not the greatest water. So, but I remember one time when Joey threw it. It was me versus Evan, and he threw it so far, and I know you didn't want to go get it, Evan.
No, I think I just stayed there.
Yeah, and I went to go get it, and I remember I got to it, which was far out, and I was like, dude, I'm fucking exhausted. Like, how the fuck am I gonna get back? And I just remember I was like almost panicking the whole swim back. I was like, dude, I'm gonna run out of like energy, and just drowned. Which made me realize like when you just go out and swim that far, Soren, that's like low key high key impressive.
I swim a lot at my
Thank you.
cabin because it's the only thing my fucking weak little body can stand is swimming, basically. So I like to go swimming as much as I can.
Yeah. Well, regardless, it's impressive because that shit like
Thank
took
you.
it out of me. I didn't
Thank
even
you.
like. I probably swam like maybe 2/3 of what you did, and I was like basically drowning half the time.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
think there was like a time like when me and Joey were young, and I think it was probably the first time for both of us where we realized we can't swim very well, because I think we were also chasing a ball. It was on a just some random lake, and we had kind of gotten out there, and I think at the same time we both realized like, oh my gosh, like we got to go back or we're gonna like run out of energy and drown.
Yeah, it's pretty scary, honestly.
Yeah,
A lot
not
of
knowing how to swim and then doing it anyways.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I guess we know how to swim, but not. We
Yeah.
don't have the endurance of Soren. I
yeah,
guess.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, after that we kind of decided like, yeah, this is okay, but you know, we decided to call it at that. I think, you know, we jumped off a bit, but other than that, that was kind of it for swimming. And then once we stopped after that, right, Evan?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there got to a point where we just didn't want to. We didn't want to get in the water and then get out and get all cold again. We just
Yeah.
called it there.
Yeah, so we decided to, you know, kind of end it, and we went back to the car, and we started to think to each other, what if we got McDonald's? And then we did.
Yep.
We did. We went and got McDonald's.
You did?
Yeah,
You
we did.
did?
Yeah.
We went on a
We
trip to
went
go to
and got
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Cause to be fair, the way I justified it is other than that first trip with me and Blake to get groceries on day one, I had not gone to the store once at that point.
Somebody
I-
was trashing me for suggesting fast food like
Yeah,
a day
that
earlier.
that
I
might
don't
have
remember who
that
it
might have been
was.
me. That's
I
probably me.
It might have been you. I think it was
But,
you.
uh,
I think you
but-
were like, "Swim is fucking camping, you pussy."
Yeah,
Or something
yeah.
along those lines.
But yeah, so I justified it that way. I think I earned it.
yeah.
You know, definitely. Yeah, I could.
I mean,
course.
what we were doing
Yeah, of
was
course.
not like.
Evan.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're,
well,
we're
shit,
like.
Evan, your mic's going.
No. That was just
going
taking
bad.
it. Oh, it's going bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Figure it out.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Evan.
I think at that point, I mean, we're not like hardcore campers or anything. Like we went out
No.
there and got trashed every single night.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're
So
a
we
bunch
just.
of drunk high idiots. I think we did pretty
So,
well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did. Fine.
I guess in a show of weakness, we decided to go to
I think we were
McDonald's.
more just looking for something to do.
Yeah, I think that might have been
I'm
it. Cause
sure.
we knew we were like, oh, Soren's not even here yet. Like, what are we gonna do? And we were kind of just like, you know what?
Yeah.
They're probably playing Yu-Gi-Oh. Let's go get some food.
You were right. We were fucking playing
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh like the whole time. It was
Yeah.
great too.
We
Yeah.
played for like, how long did we play? Like 2
Couple
hours?
hours, dude. Because
Yeah.
they must have been gone for a couple hours
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got 4
Yeah.
games
So
in.
yeah, we
We
were probably you know at the lake for maybe 45 minutes. Yeah, probably about that. And then after that, we decided to go to McDonald's, which was probably like 30 minutes of driving and while at the drive-through. And so yeah, we went to McDonald's, and I guess the original idea was McDonald's. We switched it to Dairy Queen. Pretty crazy, I know.
Oh damn, dude! I'm actually kind of sad I missed out
We-
on that.
Yeah, we let Joey pick because he offered to
Me
pay
and
for us
Will
because I didn't
too.
even I didn't even have my
Oh,
wallet.
good.
I don't think Evan did either. So
No, I didn't.
he had to pay, so we let him pick, and he picked Dairy
He
Queen.
was
so
gracious.
and then we got into
Um,
some more help shenanigans at that point.
Well, I
And
was just
boy.
gonna segue while Soren and I were playing cards. I do want to mention Jack had head back up to camp, and I think he was by himself for I think those couple of hours. Did anything eventful happen?
Yeah, Jack, what'd you even do, man?
Yeah, for those.
Dude.
Like, I'm genuinely asking. Like, I don't even know what you did because you were by yourself for like 2.5 hours.
I didn't do anything, man.
Just
There was
sat up
nothing
there.
to do. I just sat there. Yeah.
yeah.
No.
Oh,
That's why
Sat there and
I
reflected.
remember when I was just like doing nothing, like no one was at camp, and if Soren was sleeping, I was like, dude, what do I even do? Like, there's just other than like starting a fire and looking at it, there's like nothing to do.
Yeah.
So like what
That's
you
so
get there, you
real.
get there and like
a
what is there
campfire
to
and look at
do?
it.
Like what do you fucking Bear Grylls this shit and like eat worms or something?
Fight
I-
bears.
Yeah, so I definitely get that. But yeah, so
Okay.
yeah, I guess.
So does this I think this segues into you guys, because you guys got up to camp before Sorn and I did. So when you guys made it back from your Dairy Queen trip, we weren't there yet. So
Yeah.
do you wanna say what you guys were doing when
What
Sorn and I were making our way back up the trail?
Well, we had some.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, wait,
What were we doing?
Here, hold on. I'll
because
it,
we.
it involved some string and a bag of chips.
Oh, you,
Oh!
we
All right, we'll get to that. We'll
Yeah,
get
yeah,
to that.
we'll get to that. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. But we
Thank
still
you
have
for
some.
reminding us. Yeah.
We still have some stuff to
Oh.
talk about when it comes to our Dairy Queen adventure.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Which
okay.
so I think we got in the drive-through, right? We all ordered, and was
Yeah.
it after we
I
we
think it was
ordered?
right when we were
and-
leaving
and
the
pay-
little talk
yeah,
box
the
or
booth.
whatever.
You screamed help as loud as you could, like
Yeah, we
at-
played a little favorite game. The
yeah,
help game.
screaming
Yeah.
help, and this time it was in broad daylight in public. So
Oh,
you know,
no.
so you scream help.
No.
They had us
As
pull
we
up.
left the Dairy Queen
We literally
window.
pulled like a few meters in front of us and parked because they didn't have our food ready, so we were waiting. And so we probably waited like 5-10 minutes till they brought our food out. And once again, when they gave us our food, when the person was walking away and I was pulling out, Evan once again screamed to help as loud as he could while we were
Oh.
driving away. And
And I think there was a mom with her.
yeah,
kids.
there's a
Oh,
mom with her
unloading
kids
it.
looking at us.
No, I think she
Oh.
thought it was funny. I think she thought it was funny.
Think so?
I at least I hope. Maybe I'm
Yeah, I
just like.
guarantee you, Devin. She
Oh.
definitely thought that was hilarious.
Yeah,
Oh.
I know
Like
she
little
gave
kids.
us a little smile. I think she thought it was.
Yeah, actually, now that I'm thinking about that, she did do that.
funny in the way where it's you see like some kids doing some stupid shit and it's
Yeah.
just like, you know.
Yeah, and then so
That's a chill mom.
yeah, so then we were we were driving back, right? We decided to head back. Obviously, we didn't make any like extra stops, and and we were driving. We were stopped at this intersection, taking a left. The light was green, and there was a cop with his windows rolled down, on the other side of the road, like basically. So we were taking a left on an intersection, and he was taking a right. On the other side, and Joey had rolled down the window and screamed
Oh,
help as loud as he could, right as we passed the cop.
no.
And dude, that was the peak of help,
It
bro.
was,
Like that was the funniest.
maybe the funniest camping trip. That was so unbelievably funny.
Yeah,
when
we were.
did
I swear to God, we were laughing for like 5 minutes after that. That was actually so funny. Because we all knew he heard us, right? Like, and he was at a point in the intersection where he couldn't immediately, like, I think a car was in front of him or something, so he couldn't follow us. And
Yeah.
at the same time, I also think he knew we were fucking around because like
Yeah.
it doesn't
He
actually
was
look
stupid
like we need
people out
help.
there.
Like, so yeah, we did that. We thought it was hilarious. Laughed the whole way
Yeah.
back. And
I think in the process of like passing him, I spotted the cop and I was like, oh shoot, there's a cop there. I was like gonna say it like there's a cop there. And I think before I could even get those words out of my mouth, Joey screamed help as loud as he could. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like,
Yeah.
we,
and
and I think Austin, you didn't have your license.
yeah, I was just
on
about to
you.
say, yeah, I didn't have my, like, when I said I didn't have my, like, any money on me, I didn't have my wallet, which included my license. So-
that
so-
could have been bad.
Yeah, so, like, I mean, obviously, like, I have a license. It just wasn't with me. So I think if you did stop us, I wouldn't have been, like, in that big
that
of
would
trouble.
have been
But
really bad.
yeah, I would have been like, oh yeah, officer, I don't have my license. Like, that would have added like another hour or something onto him stopping us or something like that. So
Yeah.
it could have been a bit rough, but luckily nothing happened, and it was just funny ha-has. And so yeah, we came back, and I guess yeah, Samuel and Soren were still playing Yu-Gi-Oh, and we went back to camp where Jack and I think Blake was. And yeah,
nothing ever. Oh, excuse me. Nothing bad ever happened from yelling help, and it was all
No.
funny ha-has the whole
yeah,
time, right?
of course,
Yes,
yeah,
it was.
yes, and yeah, so we got back. Jack and Blake were at camp, and yeah, so we got back, and this is when the Doritos comes into play. I guess I'll let
Hold
you.
on.
Oh yeah. You want to
What-
talk
so-
about this, Jack?
Wait, so wasn't you guys were? This is the third day, right?
Yeah. This is
Yeah.
the third
Yeah,
day.
this is day 3.
Weren't you guys back before we were? Because I remember we
Nope,
came
Me and
back.
Sam played Yu-Gi-Oh for a
No,
long
no.
while.
I
Yeah,
can't-
we were walking up.
Yeah,
the,
you were-
we
you were there,
walking
Jack, I
up the
think.
hill.
Yeah, you were
I
there.
was there for the. I remember the Doritos. I was there for
Yeah.
that because when
Yeah.
we were starting to walk up the little
Yeah.
hill, I started tweaking. Dude.
Yeah. Jack, we'll let you tell the story about the Doritos because I think you think it's
Alright.
pretty funny.
Dude, it's fucking. all right. So, little backstory about Soren here. He takes
Tell-
his Doritos. He takes his Doritos very seriously.
Yes,
Oh,
he
yeah.
does.
I
He
had
loves
bought a
it.
It's
bag
like-
for
it's-
myself the
it's
first day.
like-
A delicious full party-sized bag
yeah,
of Cool Ranch Doritos.
Because you knew we were getting
So-
high and you'd want something to eat.
So,
Yeah.
so basically, if you eat his Doritos without him knowing, it's committing a war crime. There's nothing
Yeah.
more
Yes, it is.
to say about it. And anyways, I can't remember. I think it was me. It was Evan and Austin. It was you two, right, that were there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And we were
I
talking
think
about
Joey
it.
was
and
there
then,
too.
yeah, Joey was there too.
And then I think, Evan, you were either someone was instigating you or you just went up, opened the bag of Doritos.
I opened it, tried it on my own.
I remember you ate a couple, right? You ate a couple. and then we're-
He ate a couple of them. And then I honestly don't know where the idea came from.
I think
that
we just
should
started
grab some
plotting. We're-
String.
I think-
Yeah. We were just
What
plotting,
happened-
dude.
Yeah. So what happened was, I opened it because I was hungry. I was like, surely someone won't notice if I eat one chip.
Surely he won't notice if I
which-
open the bag, which wasn't
Yeah,
previously
which-
open.
yeah, no, he would never notice one chip going missing, but he would definitely notice the bag being open. So we were thinking of ways to close the bag, which we had thought, use a lighter and melt the plastic bag back together, so it would look like it had been sealed. And obviously that did not work.
Yeah, it did work.
And we just we basically punched a hole through the bag.
Yeah, I remember I
Um,
just started fucking around and I just burned a hole in
That's
the
where the
bag.
came from.
Yeah, that's where the hole came from. And then I don't know if it was Joey's idea or maybe it was my idea because I'd used some of it may have been Blake's.
Yeah, it was Blake's fishing line. Or yeah.
And we tied it up and we were trying to I don't know how we were trying to do it, but we were
Yeah.
essentially trying to throw it over a tall tree branch and just hoist it up into the trees.
yeah. We didn't get that far because I guess you can talk about this, Jag.
Yeah, Jack. What was your perspective
so,
with this?
so I was sitting near the fire, and all I hear footsteps coming from the right of me, and I get up, I start walking closer to Evan, and I just start fucking tweaking. I'm like, Evan, they're here, Evan. And they walked up, and Soren was right there.
Yeah, Soren.
Yeah, I think I turned around and I think Soren was just standing there looking at me.
I
I'm
remember,
like, oh my gosh, the
remember
worst timing.
Yeah,
dead
literally.
stare that Soren just gave before he ran
Yeah,
up
dude.
to you.
I remember the first thing you did too is he grabbed the bag and started eating Doritos out of it too. Like,
No, I
There's
think
already left in that fucking bag. There better be. That was my first
I
thought.
think I just relinquished them because I was like there was no point in putting up a fight over it.
no, it would have gone badly, and the Doritos would have been lost as well. Like if you decided to fight over
Oh,
that bag.
Yeah.
And I do want to add at a certain point. I think it was before Soren showed up, but I was messing around with Blake and I lit a Dorito on fire. And I was like, bro, I hadn't thought of in the back of my head like that video where that guy lights that flaming hot cheat on fire and then he eats it and then slaps his wife. and I was like, huh, can I do that? And so I decided to light a Dorito on fire and then eat it. And the fire went out, but I noticed later that day, the back of my mouth, all the skin was burned.
wonder how.
Yeah. So yeah, that caused me a bit of discomfort throughout that night. But
was that also the day where I was instigating you to go put fucking the can of
yes.
Oh,
I was gonna
gosh.
talk about this. So
Yeah.
that I want to add. So that morning, Soren had SpaghettiOs, and I guess we can talk about this. Soren had SpaghettiOs because we were running out of food, and we're like, bro, we gotta eat some of this food. And one of the things we had, it was ramen, SpaghettiOs, and then I don't know what else. Like I think you guys were at the store at
I
that
think
point.
that was mostly all we had.
And so I'm like,
was
Soren,
really
eat
good.
some SpaghettiOs, and
pancakes.
and pancakes. And I was
But
like,
Evan
Soren, you
fucking
should
wasted it all later when he was high.
you should eat some SpaghettiOs because that's what we have. Because I think you said you were hungry or something, and I was like, dude, eat some
Yeah.
SpaghettiOs. And so
I
you
don't know how you convinced me to do it.
yeah, I don't know. It didn't take much, I guess. I just
think
said
I
to
gave up. I don't know why I gave in so easily. Usually
I think-
I'm more resilient.
I think I just said something like we don't want to waste food, right?
Yeah, and then I was like, I put them on the fire to heat them up in the can.
Yeah, it took a while to cook, and then you ate it, bro,
Yeah.
and it was like you didn't finish those
So
SpaghettiOs.
let's preface why I don't like
Oh,
SpaghettiOs.
boy, here we
Austin, do you want
go.
to tell them why I don't like SpaghettiOs? And I can
Yes.
fill in what I remember the story after.
Yes.
Oh,
So
man.
a few years ago, it was Soren's birthday,
Oh
and
my god.
and we decided to get him a non-traditional gift, which was a 5-gallon bucket filled with SpaghettiOs with with presents inside of the SpaghettiOs that he'd have to dig through to find, and so I remember the day were doing it, we went to like Walmart or something, got so many
Oh my
SpaghettiOs, bro. It was like
God.
just SpaghettiOs, and we were dumping them in this bucket.
Oh.
And once we finished, we were like calling Soren or something. We were like, hey Soren, what time do you want us to head over for your party? And he's like, that's not till next week. And so we're like, bro, we got this
Oh.
5-gallon bucket of SpaghettiOs that we just poured out of like 40 cans of SpaghettiOs. Like, what do we do with this? And so we decided we're just like, okay, we're gonna have to put it in our like cooler in the basement. So we like emptied basically everything out of there to fit this 5-gallon bucket. And it was sitting there
Yeah.
for a week probably more. And so by the time it came to Soren's by the time it came to Soren's party, I had looked in the gallon bucket of SpaghettiOs and it was growing mold. And
It was disgusting.
it was horrific. Like this is not intentional for it to be that gross and that old and probably that smelly. And so
It was so funny though. It
we-
was the funniest thing ever.
yeah, we decided not to let it go to waste and still gave it to Soren for his birthday. And I guess do you want to tell what you found in that
So,
bucket and
they
maybe
were
what you
being-
did not find?
So they were being very suspicious, and they told me to come out to the. They were like, Soren, we got to give you your gift, bro. We got to give you your gift. So they brought me out next to the detached garage next to my house, and there's this big 5-gallon bucket, and I'm like, what the hell is in there? And they're like, you'll see. So I come up to it, and I don't remember exactly how it went, but eventually I noticed this is filled with SpaghettiOs, and they're like, you got to reach in and get your presents. And I was like, I thought about it for a minute. I was like, this is fucking gross. And I was like, it's just food. I
Yeah.
want presents. Fuck it. So I reached my hand in, and this bucket of SpaghettiOs was ice cold. I was surprised that shit was not frozen. My hand got like fucking. I think it was like kind of bluish purple after it.
There's
it was
no
cold.
way, bro.
It was. I just
I don't know.
remember.
It may have been cold.
I just remember having
mean-
goosebumps. Although I wasn't. Scratch that. I wasn't bluish purple. What the fuck am I talking about? It was just really cold. It was a really
Very
cold
cold, very
thing
cold.
of SpaghettiOs. And I was reaching around in there finding all kinds of shit, like a minion mask that was
Yeah.
like fucking all soggy and disgusting.
It was like a
'cause of the
gimp
SpaghettiOs.
mask. It was
Yeah, it was a
disgusting.
It was
minion
like-
gimp mask. It was so weird. We found it at Walmart that day and decided to give it to you.
There was like fucking what else was there in there? There was
There-
like a
there's a-
game.
There's
think-
a
yeah, I think there was
a
just random
Bakugan Wii
Xbox
game.
game.
There's a it was a Bakugan Wii game.
Yeah.
Uh,
yeah.
there
Which
was
was
there
also ruined because of the SpaghettiOs.
Yeah.
I didn't try to play it, but I didn't
Yeah.
bother.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
there-
also apparently in there was money. And I did not find any money. Instead, I drug around in a cold, moldy thing of SpaghettiOs for a significant period of time, only to pull my hand out covered in cold SpaghettiO sauce and SpaghettiOs.
and mold.
And mold.
And Austin's blood because
Yeah.
of
Okay.
the day we were emptying them.
Yeah. I was gonna talk about this. The day we were emptying 40 cans, I was doing most of the emptying. Right, we were doing it in like the garage, and I cut my finger on one of the cans super bad, and I was like bleeding profusely for a while. And I had
Someone
all these
forgot about it.
napkins that I was using to like stop the bleeding, and I was like, you know, it'd be funny
Oh my god.
if I just
I did
put these.
find napkins.
Yeah,
Okay.
if I put these in a Ziploc bag and shove them in the SpaghettiOs, it's basically a part of it. So yeah, you probably found that. There was also, I remember, a picture of Sailor Moon, which
Oh
yes,
yeah.
there was
Yeah, I
that in there
forgot about
too. And there is a separate story that I have about pictures, but I think we should say
yeah,
that for a different
we'll
episode,
save
maybe?
that. Yeah, we'll save that.
Yeah, 'cause
We're
we only got so much time,
yeah,
I
and
think
we're trying to
yeah.
keep it camping related.
yeah. But yeah,
But that was
so
why I did not want to eat those SpaghettiOs,
have
and the
trauma.
SpaghettiOs I cooked were not only tasting exactly like the can, which I cooked them in, which was disgusting. They were also SpaghettiOs, which I had trauma related to. And about the more and more I ate of that can, the more and more sick I felt. And Austin kept telling me to finish the can, and eventually, and he was like, Soren, you made it, bro. You gotta eat it. You gotta eat it, Soren. You don't want it to go to waste. And for some reason, whenever Austin to do something, he's very convincing, even if it's a fucking awful idea. I don't know why I listen, and I do every time. He's gotten me to do all kinds of just horrendous shit.
Oh god.
But
don't make
anyway,
me don't
I
paint
ended
me
up
as such a
eating.
villain.
You're not a villain. You're just a funny guy who's making me do horrendous shit.
That
But regardless,
SpaghettiOs
I
is
ate that
one of the
entire
funniest
thing of
things I've
SpaghettiOs,
No.
and it was I felt like I was gonna
Did you
throw up after
did you
that. It was
actually
so
eat the whole
gross.
thing? I didn't think you ate the whole
I
thing. I
did.
thought you did.
I did.
Holy
I did eat the whole
shit.
thing. Remember, I
Champion,
wasn't
bro,
gonna finish it. I was
champion.
like, "Awesome, I'm gonna be fucking sick." And then you left for a little bit, and you came back, and I had finished the
Oh,
SpaghettiOs. and I
yep,
was sitting
yeah, you're
there
right.
next to the empty can.
Oh, cause
and I was like,
yeah, there was an
"Oh."
empty can in the fire.
Yeah,
And-
yeah,
it was completely
yeah.
empty.
That was
and-
my
and then-
empty
champion right
can
there.
from the
And-
SpaghettiOs that I finished.
And so yeah, that was this morning. I think when it was also just me and Soren and we were hanging out. And so later that day, I think when Soren and Samuel were still playing Yu-Gi-Oh, me and I think it was especially you, Jack. We're like plotting on Soren. Like we were like, how can we mess with Soren? And
Yeah.
and I was like, I don't like. We thought of all kinds of like really bad stuff, like putting an entire like dirty ass lock in your sleeping bag. And like, no, dude, we can't do that. That's mean. Like, and I was
Mostly
like,
just because I would have to clean it.
yeah, it would just be really bad. And so I landed on let's put all the remaining SpaghettiO cans, which was 3, in a sleeping bag. I put 2 in your sleeping bag and 1 under your pillow because I thought it'd be funny. Like when you went to sleep that night, you found those cans of spaghetti and you're like, oh man, what the like just a reminder of what you ate that morning. And so yeah, we threw those in. And so yeah, those were lying in wait, for when you found them. And then yeah, I think you came back, saw the Doritos, and yeah, that unfolded. And yeah, I think at that time we had the hot dogs and stuff from the store.
Yeah, and I think we had started smoking at that.
Yeah,
Right? 'Cause
yep.
all we had at that point.
Sorry, what? Your mic cut
Yeah,
out
we-
again?
Oh, I'm sorry. I think at that point we didn't have any more alcohol. It was just.
Nope.
Yeah,
Nope.
it was
right?
So yeah,
only weed.
I prepped I think 6 joints, right?
Even more
And
than
Joe.
that.
No, I remember it was 6 because I prepped one for everyone. I knew Jack wasn't gonna smoke due to his job.
Mm.
And so yeah, I had one
Okay.
for each of us. And I think Joey was fishing, so I think everyone but Jack smoked a joint. And then
Yep.
Blake did
You
once.
mean wait, was Blake
Joey?
fishing?
Blake.
Joey?
Huh?
Joey
No.
had
Blake was
smoked, right?
fishing.
Yeah, no,
Blake,
yeah,
it was
Blake.
just Blake who was fishing.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you maybe said Joey was fishing.
No,
I'm
no,
sorry.
no. So everyone but Blake was smoking, and then Blake came back and I gave him his. And so yeah, we were all high at that point,
Mhm.
probably acting like idiots. And that's when we were trying to start the fire. And
Ah, yes.
do you want to talk
I
about this,
remember
Evan?
this.
Because this was just peak like
So-
high insanity. It is
so-
really bad.
Samuel might actually
Yeah.
know this one.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
give this one to
So-
Samuel.
So we had already bought 3 bundles of firewood the day, I think it was the day of. And I can't remember if this event happened on day 3 or like night 2, but I remember no, I think it was night 2 because I was pretty drunk watching this. Austin had grabbed a giant branch, like a giant broken tree branch. Like this thing was
Yeah,
longer
yep.
than him. It was probably two lengths of Austin, and he had like propped it up against.
No, dude, it
this
was like
tree.
3 times. It was me and Blake. We were just fucking around. We dragged it out of the
I
woods.
would say it was probably 30 feet.
Yeah,
was
Okay.
it was long. It still
But-
like went into the path like while it was propped up against that tree.
Yeah. But you guys had grabbed some like rotted logs. And you guys were just like, if we just like threw it up against this tree that we just propped up, it would like the in theory the wood would just snap and we would
Yeah.
have free firewood.
Yeah,
So they did this. They did this to like 3 logs, and I
and
remember
it
just
worked. It
watching
worked.
It
We
worked.
actually
It
got some
did work.
firewood out of the first one, but yeah,
The problem with it was all drenched. It was all wet.
yeah.
But
Blake
we
was
used
adamant that
as a-
it wasn't wet, which it totally
No.
was.
Yeah. He but the problems began when they decided to use that for the beginning. No. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no,
You
no,
guys
no,
had
no. We used the firewood you bought that morning, and
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
and
that's
it was
right, it was
fucking
wet.
That was
wet, dude.
day
It was
3.
wet.
That was
Yeah,
that
we
was
had
day
not
3.
You're
Yeah,
right. You're right.
yeah. You bought
Day
wet
So we
firewood.
used
You like
that.
got
Wet-ass
scammed.
firewood,
You
that
got
was
scammed.
disgusting.
And so yeah,
Yeah,
we
so
were
we-
struggling to
shit.
start this fire, and we were high
Yeah.
while doing it. So we're like,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
So-
it was
so- yeah.
unbelievable.
so
Yeah,
I
so
remember- oh, God.
we had all pretty much finished our joints at this point. And Soren we had the wood in there and we were using
remember
the
it.
kerosene and it just wasn't catching. Nothing
Yeah.
was catching. And Soren like prompted
I
an
can tell you
idea
how it
and
happened.
he had prompted the idea that he's like wait, do we still have flour? And I'm like, yeah, we have flour. And he says, I'm pretty sure flour is flammable. And without
Yo.
like confirmation to this statement, Austin just proceeds to just dump all of the flour over the firewood. And the firewood we can't start. And then we're just stuck trying to light these logs that are just covered in flour and it's not catching. Nothing is catching. Like before, at least it was like there was flame to the
Yeah.
kerosene, but the fire just went out immediately upon contact with the flour.
I want to set the vibe to this. There was almost like no talking. We were pretty silent while we were doing this.
Can I like chime in? Because I remember like talking about it.
Yeah.
Or like mentioning something. So we were all pretty high except for Jack, which unfortunately he had to put up with us while all this. So we were all like sitting around the fire, trying like with I don't know, either like a burning or like a little burning stick or something, or the multiple lighters that we had, and we were all just trying to light on fire these like flour covered logs, which obviously is just not gonna work.
Yeah.
And I think Joey was just like banging on like some metal with like a stick. This probably went on for a couple minutes, and then I'd come to the realization, like I was like, "What are we doing?"
Yeah, we were like in a hypnotic
Like,
trance
what?
from the banging.
like what are we doing? Like we're trying to like no one's talking. We're trying to light flour on fire.
And then had most
Joey's
clarity.
banging. Yeah, Joey's banging on like some metal, and like Jack unfortunately has to bear through all of this because like
He's
he-
the only
he-
sober one
yeah,
there.
'cause Jack,
Mhm.
what was going through your mind? Because I mean, you had the clarity throughout all of this. Like, what were we
I
just like
was-
that stupid?
Yeah, it was pretty fucking stupid. Like,
Yeah.
I can't even tell you exactly what was going on in that moment because there was just so much dumb shit.
Yeah, bro. It was like we were actually autistic. It was bad.
It was so bad that it would make like if you were sober, it would make you feel. Is that
I was
is that
getting- I
accurate,
was-
Jack?
Dude, I was getting fucking pissed.
I
Yeah.
think if I were there and I was sober, I think I would go into some trance.
I forgot the part because Jack
Dude,
was the one who had bought all of the firewood.
Yeah, but like
I
I
could
think
not
I
all
think
the
we would
firewood.
struggle to
fucking
light
wet,
that
dude.
fire sober, dude, because it was terrible.
Yeah,
bro.
it was
It was- it
terrible
was wet.
firewood.
It
It was
really
was
glossy.
bad.
The
too.
flour
I
did
was
not help.
Sitting for sure.
No,
I was just struggling to comprehend what the fuck was going on. Like the next thing I'd see
Yeah.
is there's flour getting added to the fire,
yeah,
and then there's fucking ramen
Oh, oh yes!
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my
Yeah, that's
god,
right.
dude, Joey, that
then-
was Joey.
And then
Oh my god.
and then we put that and then we put a fucking can of fucking SpaghettiOs
Yeah.
in there.
That was after
No,
it
no,
was
no, yeah,
going,
that-
though.
no, no,
How
no,
the
no,
hell
no,
did
wait.
we get it going?
No,
I
wait.
think we just packed
We
it.
we actually managed to get
that was
the fire
that was
going
later in the
after
day
we
though,
had-
right? Because
It
those
was.
Yeah.
because those SpaghettiOs were at that point like in your sleeping bag still, and we'll get to that.
Oh,
Yeah, we had
Holy
got the
shit.
fire going when like I think one of us or a couple of us had like sobered up from just like how stupid.
Yeah, that was really
this event
sobering when
was
Evan
going
said
on.
that.
I wasn't
Yeah,
sober yet.
I wasn't either.
I think I definitely was because I just remember like just scraping all of the flour off. I was just like getting frustrated. I'm like, okay,
I
I
guys,
think you
stop.
said you had
Like,
sobered up at the time
I-
too, and
I-
I was
Yeah.
dude.
I remember
I-
being like
you-
really high, but trying to like I was trying to like conversate with you guys, and it just was like deading. I was like, dude, these guys are like. I remember you, Evan. You were just like in a trance almost before that. I was like trying to talk to you. I was like, bro, what do we do? And you're like,
I
I don't know.
don't think you guys
Yeah.
understand, as me being the like only sober person there, how fucking difficult that was to just watch and experience.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
nothing you could do. You're
I
just,
like
Oh my god.
I've sober cabbed for some people when they get high, but like the people that I've been with are like used to it. And yeah, like well, I don't know. This time was special. I don't know what was going on.
It
but
was
we
just
were
like everyone was just in the same mood of just
yeah,
like
I
Yeah.
swear that it was like laced with like some. It was laced with like stupid powder. Like
Yeah.
we were just. I don't know. We,
Dude, it's
we
like-
were
it's like
sharing
they're-
like
it-
one brain cell. It was
Yeah.
terrible.
yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But it was very
And
funny. It
So
was
but
really
but I want to go back to the ramen. At some point, Joey
this was when
dumped
we had gotten the fire.
Yeah, we
started.
did
We
get
had
Blake.
scraped all
Joey
the- we had
Joey
scraped all the
dumped was
flour
it
off.
Joey, right?
It was
Yep.
Blake.
It was Blake. Yeah, it was Blake.
Yeah.
He had like set out ramen from that morning. It was just sitting there all day, and he like wanted to get rid of it, I guess. So he decided to dump
like, "Oh."
ramen, which is wet, on the fire that we just got going.
Well,
And,
he dumped all the broth in, like, cause he was sitting in
Yeah,
yeah, and then
yeah.
he just dumped that all over it.
Yeah.
And I think he said while he was doing it, and I quote, "Oh, this will help."
yeah.
It's like,
So that set us back probably a good 30-45 minutes to making
Yeah.
that fire.
dude, like,
We were
oh.
just
That was
getting
that
started.
was genuinely so stupid. Like,
yeah. And so
I
yeah.
think everyone had sobered up at that point too. So like the joints.
No,
of the,
I
everybody had
remember-
I
I
stayed
remember-
high for
yeah,
a
no,
very
I
long time.
same.
really?
I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I think
I
I,
was
might have been
high-
the only sober one
I
there.
was high, but I was trying desperately to like remain somewhat sober. You know what I mean?
I was
Uh,
just there.
I
And,
gave
and,
up.
and so after we got the fire started, I was feeling like I needed to take a poop really bad. And at that point, like the outhouse was really gross and I really didn't want to use it. And and so I was like,
remember
bro, I'm gonna do the mile walk back to take a shit in that that like little place that we charge our phones at. And and I got like I walked for about like it was probably 2.5 minutes or something like that, and I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not gonna do this. This is fucking like because I was high and I was like, this is gonna take like it's gonna seem like an eternity. It's gonna all and
Yeah.
it's also gonna definitely kill my high. It's just gonna so I walked back, and I remember walking up to Soren and he's like because I had pooped in the woods rather than pooping in the outhouse, I think on day 2. And I told Soren, and he's like, did you poop in the woods or something? And I'm like, no, I just didn't go poop. And he's like, he's like making jokes at my expense about letting it crust or something. And
Oh.
You were making jokes about letting it crust. I
Yeah,
never
yeah.
make crust jokes.
no. Okay, well, I can't remember how it went, but I remember you making jokes, and I was like, oh
I
yeah.
was making jokes though.
And I was like, oh yeah. Well, I actually wiped my ass with my underwear, and I'm gonna go put it in your sleeping bag right now.
Oh yeah, I
And-
fucking thought you were gonna do that
and
shit
so-
too.
Yeah, and then I committed to the bit. I went into the tent, waited for like 2 minutes or something, and then went back out. And like everyone, I can't remember. Everyone was asking me questions, and I was high, so I was a little bit overwhelmed. I didn't think it'd get to the extent it was. I thought it was just like a joke. Soren knew I was joking. But they're like, "What did you put in there?" at this point I thought everyone knew what was in there, which was the SpaghettiOs. I'm like, I put something in there, and everyone thought it was my poopy underwear, which to be clear wasn't in there. I didn't use my
he
underwear.
did not do it.
But everyone for some reason thought I did. Probably because I wasn't. I probably committed to the
I
bit
was
way
still
too hard.
high at that point.
Dude,
Yeah,
I
and
thought
so
I thought you pissed in a sleeping bag. or
yeah,
something.
yeah, like everyone thought I did something really bad when I really just was fucking with Soren. And so everyone was like walking in there like inspecting his sleeping bag for like me doing something wrong. I was just sitting there like kind of just like bewilderment. And I remember like Soren was the last person to see what was in his tent. I think everyone like went in there, saw what it was, and like laughed and left or something. And then Soren went in there and he came out with like cans of SpaghettiOs. And you fucking chucked one so hard at me.
I didn't realize how hard I threw it.
Yeah.
I said catch, and I meant to throw it as if you should actually catch it.
Yeah.
But I was high, so I lobbed that shit like I was trying to fucking kill you, and
Yeah.
it burst against the tree behind your head.
It was funny. It bursted onto a tree, but it was so far off, like it wasn't even close to hitting me.
Good. I
It
was,
was-
high because I thought it was close. I felt so bad.
I knew you were gonna throw it at me or something. I was like, fuck it, dude. I'm just gonna take it. Like, you know, just high
It's
shenanigans, right?
totally-
Like it, but like he
Right.
threw it. It hit the woods like 5 meters away from me, just like on a tree in the middle of the woods. And I was like, what the fuck? And
was-
Soren
fucking-
Soren's like, oh, I'll go get that. and then I think he threw that one into the fire. I think that's the one that ended up in the
was when
fire.
I started cooking.
And so yeah,
Oh,
that was
left in
the
there.
funny debacle. That's how Soren found the SpaghettiOs.
Yeah, he found the SpaghettiOs.
I-
I'm gonna say it's probably a good thing you did not walk all the way back to that pavilion because Blake had told me, maybe later that day that he had stolen all of the toilet paper out.
He did.
Yeah, he
Wait,
did.
what?
Me
the
and Joey,
fuck?
me and Joey were plotting to do that, but we couldn't figure out how to open the thing to get it out. Me and
No,
him-
Well, that's at least what he told me. He said
He must have.
he had
Was it
said that he had
thieves?
done something similar, and he ended up taking it all out of there.
He must have
So
just unrolled it. Like I was intending to like open it
That
up and
could be.
take the toilet, but he probably just unrolled the whole thing and just.
I don't know what he did, but
You guys are
um,
fiends.
I think he had said that he had went and just taken it all.
I never saw that toilet paper. There's a lot of toilet paper. I don't know where he would like. He
Maybe
definitely.
they replaced it at some point, but
Oh, but we
well,
never
I
saw it
don't
around
remember.
He never
Cam.
showed us that he had any toilet
Yeah.
paper though, so we still
maybe
assumed we
maybe
didn't
he
have
was
any.
joking with me.
He was
but,
probably fibbing, but
That's
Yeah, 'cause
when
I don't
you
think we
came
had any
back
toilet
when
paper.
you came back and or no, it was after you came back that he told me that. I thought it was the funniest thing because
Mhm.
don't
I
know,
really dodged a bullet, bro.
I actually had thought you had walked all the way back because time works weird when
Yeah.
so
yeah.
I
So
thought you had
so
actually walked.
so
all the
yeah,
way
that
back.
was the funny thing regarding Soren finding the SpaghettiOs, which is pretty funny. I remember being like, I was almost like a little bit scared to be honest for him finding, even though I knew what was in it and it wasn't anything like poopy underwear. I was like, oh fuck, bro. Like, so if, Soren's probably fuming right now because he thinks I put poopy underwear in his sleeping bag. And like everyone else isn't
would
making
be
it better
evil.
by going in there and be like, oh my god, like you know.
Yeah, dude. You're fucking. I was sitting over there like I'm gonna kill this motherfucker.
Yeah,
when
bro, I
find
knew it.
shit covered
I
in
knew it.
underwear in my
I
fucking
would kill
sleeping
someone if
bag.
someone did that to me. Like so like I
That
didn't
would
know
be
what you were gonna
evil.
do. Yeah, it would be evil. But I guess everyone committed to the bit, including me. It was pretty funny. And then
You guys got me. I thought it was gonna fucking. I don't even know.
okay, and then so what happened after that? Was that when we kind of just
I
sat
think
around
this
for a
gets
bit?
to yeah, I think this transitions to the Glick cannon because we're all like stoned and we're
the
like,
Glick cannon.
and we're just like,
Did we
we're
talk
not
about
gonna.
the Glick cannon last time?
We
I
did,
think
yeah.
we did, but not
um,
not as much as we should have.
Yeah.
It's basically, I guess, just to give a very quick rundown from last episode, we didn't have any pitchforks to cook the hot dogs on like a traditional poker, so we had kebab.
Yeah, it was like a kebab
cookers.
cooker. It's like basically a
Yeah,
cage.
Yeah, it was a cage, and you could fit probably like to the brim 8 hot dogs in there.
No,
and we
it was
referred-
wait, Evan, did you manage to get like 12 in there? I thought
think
it was
I
like
put
12.
12 in there. Yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, it was
But,
like literally filled though.
Yeah, But anyways, so to get to this point, everything had kind of like settled down to where people were getting ready to eat, and we had all unanimously decided we're not going to go over to the neighbors to
Yeah.
invite them. So we just started
We were
eating
high.
the hot
At least
dogs
I
that
was.
Yeah.
we started eating the hot dogs that we had bought for that reason. And then I think at this point, just like the whole eating thing, it was just like normal shenanigans, nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
I think things
I
just
remember a couple more hot dogs were dropped. I think I dropped a hot dog or something. I
You
remember
dropped 2 of the 4 you made, and
Yeah,
then
I think
it
we did a
was. I
little
think that
better.
was half of them, right?
I
And
don't
then
think
and then
yeah, I
the
remember
12 ended
I
up
remember
surviving. I think, other than maybe a couple.
I remember I dropped one in the dirt and I ended up like jacking it off because it was just filled with soot. Like, and I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I was like,
that
still
happened
good
a
to
couple of
eat. Like
times.
my hand
Yeah,
was
so they cleaned
filthy.
it up, yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that's basically one of the only thing I remember from cooking. We ate a bunch of
Yeah.
hot
Yeah.
dogs, and then
I think this is where we get to the point where like the sun is pretty much down, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
We still
and
had a
then
decent amount of
wound down a
firewood.
lot.
Yeah, we still had a lot of
we pretty
firewood.
much we just pretty much spent the whole night just trying to burn up all of the firewood that we had
Yeah.
because we were just gonna leave that morning. So I think this is where
Well,
this is where the
this is
night got pretty interesting.
yeah. Well, there at a certain
Well,
point.
no. It was late because didn't we take a trip to take some stuff back to? the
Yeah,
farm?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Samuel, Jack, and Joey took. I think it was like all of the chairs back.
It was
Mhm.
just me, Samuel, and Joey.
Yeah, that's what I said. And then yeah, so
Oh.
you guys took the chairs back.
Mhm.
I can't
Yeah,
remember.
we were
Probably
sitting around the fire and you guys came to collect our chairs, and I was so sad.
yeah, yeah. So you guys took the chairs back because we were. I mean, for a reason, we probably figured we wouldn't want to take so much stuff in the morning because at that point we had basically run out of food and we were kind of just like we wake up tomorrow morning, pack everything up and leave almost immediately.
Yeah.
And
Which
so
was a
yeah,
good call. That was a
yeah,
really good call.
It was
even
smart.
even though we could have
Yeah,
stayed, like we had nothing left. We would have been out of firewood, basically out of water, out of food. Like
Yeah.
so
The
it was
reason
just
we
it was
left so quickly.
yeah it was a time to leave. So we took some stuff back. I think me and Evan and the rest, Evan, Soren, and Blake stayed back. And at a certain
Yeah, I was
point,
sleeping.
yeah,
Soren was sleeping.
Soren was
Yeah,
sleeping.
yeah.
I did
Me,
a lot of sleeping.
yeah, me, Evan, and Blake kind of were still just up, chilling around the fire. We ended up dragging the
Yeah.
bench over to the fire so we could sit down still, because the bench was there
Okay.
when we got there. So we were just chilling, waiting for you guys to get back, just kind of staring into the fire. Not really. I don't even think we were talking that much because we were coming down from
No, I
that
don't
high.
think we were.
There was a little bit of shenanigans that had happened before things started to unfold that night.
Yeah,
So
I think
remember,
we were yelling help more. I think I definitely
Yeah,
think we were
Well,
doing
I
that.
think they
No,
yelled it
we-
back
that
at
was-
one
that
point.
was before- no,
Yeah.
that was-
We
that
yelled
was
help and they
before.
yelled it back. Yeah, that's
that was after. So
Yeah, that was a
I mean,
while ago, I think.
before then, this is when I think this was another time when we got the entire group to go into Soren's tent.
oh
after
yeah.
we were hyping each other up to like strip him, and
Round
Oh.
3.
yeah, he was asleep, but we had the entire party there, and I just remember all of us just like diabolically giggling outside the tent door.
I could hear that
And-
shit.
yeah.
Wait, no, I might have been asleep. I
You
think I
had to
was asleep
prepare
that time.
yourself.
I think
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
asleep that time,
I-
so
I-
I
we were,
wasn't
like-
ready.
I remember
we
it was
were, like,
pitch
hyping
black.
each
We were
other
just
up.
I remember going over there diabolically
Yeah.
laughing.
And then we opened the door and then pushed Joey in. Joey tripped and then like fell down as he like got inside, and then Jack went in, and then I went in, and then I think the other so was it Jack? No, it was Evan. No, Evan
I
Evan
was in
and Jack was
there.
there. Yeah, so I think it
Yeah.
was just Austin and Blake were like standing outside the
Yeah,
tent
we were
door.
standing out. I made
Yep.
a conscious effort
Yep.
to not go in there.
Yeah. So you guys, and then we were like, we just sat there and just like laughed like the entire time. We didn't even do anything to Soren. We were just laughing,
Yeah.
and like
so
it was
stupid.
it was so dumb. And then Austin and Blake had disappeared at this point, went back over to the fire and kind of just ignored them. And then we were just like, just goofing around. And then at one point, Evan just screams help. like really, really loud. And then all of a sudden we just hear like from behind us, like uh oh my this to somewhere to the effect of oh
Wait, wait,
my
wait,
god,
wait,
I
wait,
am
wait, wait, wait.
oh
This isn't when they start.
It
That's
is.
it
no,
is
no, it
no it
definitely,
is
no, it definitely
yes
isn't
it is
because you guys were in your guys' tent. You guys came out of your guys' tent. I remember
no
everyone was
no
going to sleep besides me and Blake. I guarantee
no
you.
Honestly, I don't
No,
remember where we were
no,
when
no
it.
no no
when
it
it
no
wasn't. You guys were
no
still in my tent. I remember
no
because you guys started scrambling out when the help
Are
was
you?
yelled.
yeah no
Was
It
we
was,
Because
yeah,
I
I do
scrambled
thought they
remember
out
were
being
if
mad
at
you
at
that
us
want
point.
for screaming help.
yeah yeah
Yeah, I
Really?
don't
so
think that.
Evan had
Yeah,
Evan
really.
had
I do
screamed
want
help
to go back just before we get into that, just to tie one thing up. When you guys were carrying stuff back to the car, I don't know if like Blake was like gaslighting us, but um, I could have sworn there was something like circling our campsite, like
Yeah.
nothing, not
Yeah,
like a
there's
bear
yeah
Oh
or
my god.
anything.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
yeah
I
yeah.
don't,
yeah
I really don't
yeah
think there was any bears up there. It could have been like a coyote or something. I don't think coyotes would get that close, but something was like because Blake had flayed a couple fish and dumped their guts like 5 feet from the clearing,
Yeah, he just threw him
which is
into the woods.
genius.
Yeah.
Um,
yeah
but I really don't think it was any sort of predator, just because I don't think they get that close. But
it
Yeah.
might have
there
been
was
a
like
coyote or a
something,
raccoon
yeah, there was something like me, Blake, and Austin were just sitting on the bench, just pretty high, and we just kept hearing something like it was behind us and in front of us and on our sides. Like it was the most random thing. I
Yeah.
just wanted to throw that out there
And
because it was
and I
it was
remember
so weird, and
the night
I don't
before
know.
we were also tweaking because we thought something was in the woods. And I remember telling Jack, I was like, because he was gone when Blake was filleting the fish. I remember I was like, "Hey Jack, Joey or Blake filleted some fish and he threw the guts into the woods." And Jack was like, "You're kidding, he did not." Like, 'cause I remember
Yeah.
you were particularly worried about like bears or something, and you were just like, "Dude, you're such an idiot, Blake." Like,
Yeah, I was more thinking that than worried about anything. I was mainly just thinking about, wow, this fucking idiot.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
It's
because
Yeah,
like,
we did a lot of stupid stuff, but
yeah
yeah,
yeah.
but so
I,
yeah,
I
but
don't think it was a bear, but stuff like that can attract. You never know.
yeah.
yeah
But
Okay,
yeah,
so
we
yeah,
thought we heard something.
well,
It was a little freaky, but yeah,
but so
we're
yeah, I
fine.
guess yeah. So I
But
I
yeah,
just
now
remember.
now you can get into it because
Okay, yeah.
this was
so
like the
so then
climax. This
so
is
yeah
I'll just say
we're all in
yeah,
the
me and Blake were staring. It was almost like off into where their campsite was. We were staring in that direction, and
well
yeah, we were just kind of
let's
sitting there and just talking about some random shit.
yeah yeah I'll let Austin I'll let you take over as soon
Okay.
as this part gets wrapped up. But yeah, we were in the tent and like laughing, still laughing, and then Evan screams help, and we're like, dude, Evan, like that's not funny. Like, okay, like stop. And then he did it again, and then I'm like, bro, Evan. And then as I'm like saying stop, I hear I think no, we all heard like from way behind us, somewhat to the effect of I am so fucking done with this. And then it wasn't anybody from our camp, and we're just like, what? And then Evan and then we were all just thinking like, oh shit, like they're mad at us
yeah,
because
maybe said it
Evan
too
is
many
screaming
times.
help. Yeah, maybe yeah, Evan kept screaming help. And then we just sit there in silence and then just kind of like listen, and then we hear like screaming back towards the first guy who was yelling, and we're like, wait, they're not talking about us. And then we like all of us like scramble out of the tent
Yeah.
and just like stand outside of the tent, and this is when we all kind of like gather around the fire, and I'll let Austin take
Yeah,
over at this point.
yeah. So I remember you guys must have. I remember you guys were in some sort of tent. I guess I'm mistaken about where you guys were. I thought I remember people coming out of your guys' tent, but
No, yeah, we were still
no,
in
I
the
was getting fucking butthurt about it.
yeah, you might have been in the other tent, Jack, or someone may have been.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can't remember where I
might
was
have
at
been.
that
I don't
point.
think he was. I don't remember.
Whatever. It doesn't really matter. But
Yeah, yeah.
I remember I was talking with Blake about something. I do remember Evan yelling help, and me and him were just talking, and it was almost like it almost felt like background noise, but we heard these people screaming, and
Oh.
we kind of just looked at each other like kind of like what the fuck. And I can't exactly remember what they started screaming about, but I remember we were kind of we were shocked, and you guys started coming out of the tent, and I they were screaming to the extent of like from what I remember at least, because like a lot of it was muffled and hard to hear, and they're facing away from us, I assume, for part of it. But I remember one of the guys was screaming at someone to give him his keys, and yeah, he was
Mhm.
like fed up with something. I don't know what it was. For all we know, maybe it was us. Who knows?
Maybe
But
it
I
would
doubt
have
it.
helped. I was still curious. I was like, huh, I wonder maybe he really was fed up with us
But
just screaming out.
I think if it was us, they would have screamed over to us.
Yeah.
So I doubt it.
Yeah.
But
Not
he was
amongst each
screaming.
other.
No,
He
it was not us. I don't.
he was
They were
screaming at
screaming at
someone.
each other.
Yeah, they were screaming at each other. There's some sort of
Yeah.
argument over
He
in
wanted
our
his
neighbors'
keys.
camps. Yeah, he wanted his keys. There was lots of talk about someone who had a gun, which was very alarming to hear, because they
Mhm.
were not far from us. There's a real thought in my mind, and I know a couple others. Like if they just started shooting, that we weren't far enough where getting shot would be impossible. Like it could have actually happened or something.
Or if they, if we don't get caught by a stray, maybe they feel like
Maybe they come over
they want to
here.
get some revenge or
It
something.
would it would take
to
like
get
a
us.
minute walk for them to come over to our
Yeah,
place.
hey, we're not that far away. Like,
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so we started to panic. I remember Evan was basically numb. He was just sitting on the bench.
yeah. At that point, I was just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. And
She's so fucked.
yeah.
I mean, yeah,
I
that's
think Jack and Soren
maybe
were
that's
the
the
two who were kind
irresponsible
of
thing
taking it.
about
Yeah. I remember I was like ducking behind the tent at a certain point because I was like, dude, if they're let off shots, I'm getting out of the way. But
And
yeah,
so
like it was weird because like there was lots of talk of this guy who had a gun, and
Mhm.
and they were arguing for a long time. It felt like they were just
Yeah,
screaming.
they were.
Yeah,
And
this was probably like 10 to 15 minutes of just screaming back and forth.
yeah, and so yeah, they were screaming. Soren ran off because he
yeah,
Which is
so
yeah,
for
that's
good
the
reason.
smart
Austin
thing.
was
For good
like, well, we should go down the trail, and then he changed his mind, obviously. But I was like, fuck it, I'm going, and Blake, you're coming with me. And Jack was telling me I shouldn't go because he thought I was gonna go the wrong direction, dumbass, because I was
Well,
high.
Yeah, everyone
Um,
thought you were going over, or at least I didn't. But I know Evan. Did you think he was
Yeah,
going over
everybody
to?
thought I was
I
going
don't-
over to their
okay.
thing, except for
I
Austin, which
don't
I'm not
know.
a fucking idiot. Why would I go over
Yeah.
there?
I don't know. It was probably just because I was high. In my mind, what I thought you were going to do is you were going to go down the trail and like meet him head on when he got his keys and went for his car. And you were gonna like
That's
attack
what
him.
fucking I think Jack thought too, but he was sober, and everybody
No,
thought I was
I-
gonna go the wrong direction.
I was
No,
like worried that you were
I-
gonna go down the trail that led to their camp and like run into
Yeah.
them by accident. But
Yeah,
I
that's
was
what
worried
I
about
thought was going on, and I was like, oh shoot, like, and I also want to. I don't know if we talked about this last episode. So I think it was a pretty big group. They were all about
Yeah.
teenagers, except for this one dude
yeah,
who
he
was
looked like
I
he
don't.
was
He was
30.
probably like my dad's, or was he?
Yeah, he didn't
Yeah,
look like he was
I
that
guess
old.
I don't.
He was probably 30 or
Maybe
something
he just
like
didn't
that.
age very well or something. But yeah, he was considerably older than all of them, and it was just
He-
this like grown man, like older than any of us, way older than them.
Yeah.
And it was that was just like for one,
He-
that was just sort of strange.
He had an odd
because
vibe to him.
we had
did.
we had known that they were kind of rowdy, similar to us, maybe not as like
Yeah,
weird,
because at
but,
least that
but,
night
like,
that they were playing
just, like,
music,
partying,
right,
yeah.
and being loud, like just kind of like how we were.
Yeah.
So it seemed like
like
there's
an older guy with just a bunch of like teenagers. I mean, like if he was their chaperone or their dad, like it'd still be a little bit
He
weird.
didn't give off the dad vibe though.
No, he
was
really
like a
he really
fucking-
didn't.
And we're not saying this as if we know it was that guy who's threatening people with a gun, but
Yeah, we're just thinking
he
like
is the
like
he
the
is
sure
the
as other
outlier.
guys.
He's the outlier in the group, so obviously we kind of think like, oh, this
Yeah,
he's
the
he's
other
the only
guys,
one
like,
old enough to buy a gun legally. So
yeah,
That we
me and
know of,
Joey had
yeah.
like jokingly like sized them up, and like they didn't look the other like younger like men because it was a guy screaming.
yeah,
They didn't really look like
I mean,
maybe
your
they
mic's
would
cutting
they
out
would.
again.
Someone
Hey,
take over.
bring it closer to your mouth.
I think it's just terrible, Mike. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, they didn't really look like guys who would have the gun. But the older man, I guess I don't really know. That's
Yeah.
who I
So
would
yeah,
think.
we were kind of just sitting around the fire. After like 10 minutes or so, it just became normal, and at that point we regained some of our joking nature, and we're messing around with the whole help thing again.
Yeah.
Oh, were we?
Yeah,
Oh,
we
God.
were.
Yeah.
We weren't
I
screaming
remember
it, but
Jack
but
was-
Jack,
was
you were getting
really
angry at
mad.
us. We were more
Dude,
just
Oh
like
yeah,
saying
we
it.
would maybe just say it
We're
and
like
not
we're
very
like
loud.
yeah, we were like
Dude,
help.
I was getting so fucking anal about it.
Yeah, cause like
I
to be fair-
mean, rightfully so. I don't
For,
think
for right
and
reasons.
it was so weird because after maybe like
Mm.
15 minutes they stopped yelling at each other, they stopped being like super loud, and then maybe
then
5 minutes after that they started
It just went
screaming
back to-
again. They went back to yelling.
Yeah, I remember
I
two
rem-
Yeah, but
different.
we were all in the
spouts.
tents at this point. I'm pretty sure.
After we went to bed, I remember waking up at like fucking God, I don't know, 3 o'clock in the morning and hearing him
Yeah, that
just
might be what I'm
going back
remembering,
at it.
because maybe you guys came back out of the tent when they started screaming it. Maybe that's what I was remembering. But yeah, they started yelling at each other again. Like it was basically the same thing as like, "Give me my keys." Like apparently didn't get them yet.
Mm.
Give me my keys.
Yeah, so that was a bit wild, and considering we are all getting off a high, it's a bit nerve wracking.
Yeah.
And considering the reality sunk in that we were gonna invite those psychos over to our place,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
we
it-
probably
it
made the
almost
best
did.
call not to.
Yeah, if like the listeners think we are weird, like we're not the type to like bring a gun or really like we mess with each other.
No,
Maybe
we would.
Soren the most. Sorry, Soren. But
Yeah,
no,
I can take
Soren's
We would
not gonna
never
pull
do.
a gun on us or anything.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
We would never
it's
do
all
anything
in
to each
good
other
fun.
that would.
Like
Yeah,
we're
I'll do it with my
threatening.
bare hands. I don't need a fucking gun.
yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
it's like we know each other well enough. Where it's just like
Yeah.
we're not gonna like
And
kill each
Bring
other.
it
If
back to
it's
the
not
fact we've known
Soren-
each other like our entire lives. So it's like
If
we're-
it's not Soren,
Yeah.
it's usually Samuel. Sorry, Samuel, but
yeah,
is. Yeah, it's true.
yeah. So yeah, it was yeah. So
No,
those
yeah, so
guys are
that was
complete
very interesting,
psychos.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that was a fun story. At some point, it was weird. They also, after they started screaming that second time, they went back to like music up, sounded like they were partying.
Yeah.
Again. It was so odd. Like they just went
Very
back to
bizarre.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I don't know if that guy left and they just like were like, ah, fuck it, let's just party again.
Yeah.
But it was weird.
I would. My mood would have been killed after that shit.
Yeah,
dude. If
like-
somebody
Yeah, that
threatened
would
to
suck.
shoot me with a gun,
Yeah.
I would not have been fucking partying.
No.
Yeah.
Dude.
Nice. That was hot. I do.
I'm gassed.
I do remember waking up to the effect of I'm pretty sure all of the guys had went to bed, and I only remember hearing, I think it was like I think it was two couples, because I do remember like the girls like screaming back at
Yeah.
the two guys to like get them to calm down, and then I
Yeah.
remember the guys being gone and only the girls were like talking to each other, but like in more of not really in any concerned manner, more just like
Yeah.
chatting and but like laughing about the whole situation, about the whole
Oh,
thing, and that had
that's-
happened right before the second or like the third batch of the screaming match happened.
I don't think there was a third batch, was there? Maybe.
I don't
I must
remember
have
third
slept through
batch,
all
but
of that.
I don't know. No,
I only heard
I
the second.
only remember
like, a few
two. I
hours
remember-
after.
Okay,
Yeah.
you might be right, but I do remember them joking about
I
about
do
the,
I do definitely remember them going. Last thing I remember is like they went back to partying, and then I think we called it a night.
yeah.
And,
yeah.
then,
At
yeah,
that point,
went-
we were pretty much done.
I don't think nothing else happened. That was a mood kill for us. Like we fucking
Yeah.
shit our pants. It was bad. Like
Mhm.
Yeah.
I had trouble sleeping after that one.
yeah. And
I
then
think
yeah,
I probably passed
eventually
out,
yeah,
like,
eventually
immediately, but-
Soren came back. We forgot to tell like Soren did come back after a while. I mean, you
everyone kinda
texted
just
me.
forgot
You
about him.
texted me maybe like 10 minutes
Yeah.
after you left. You're like, "Is everything cool?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're chilling." And
Yeah,
so, you came
basically, I
back.
just went down the trail in the other direction, not towards them. And I told Blake to come with me, and he didn't listen because he's Blake. And,
Yeah.
and yeah, I was just like, "Hey, is everybody okay? Is Blake okay?" Austin was like, "Yeah." I came back, went to sleep.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
think it
at
was
that
basically
point,
done after
It
that.
was, yeah, nothing really happened, but it was certainly intense.
Yeah, it
And
was
I
very
did run away.
I do.
Hey,
I do.
I was about to, but I
mean,
decided
I
that.
feel like it was
Smart.
objectively the better decision than yelling
Oh
help.
yeah,
Yes.
I think so, but
But I
I
definitely
thought it was funny.
Yeah.
I don't think we had. I think after the yelling match, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think we had screamed help
No, we
loud
didn't, but
enough
we were.
for them to
No,
hear.
it
We
was
were. If
I think what we
anything,
would do is we'd get in the tent and just say, like at like a talking level, like help.
yeah. At that
Just
point,
to
we were
kind of
definitely
be like,
fucking with.
oh yeah, are we gonna yell at
Yeah, at that point we were
that point?
fucking
But
with you,
I
Jack.
don't
I
think
think it
we,
was because you
yeah,
were the only one actually
yeah.
getting mad at that, so we were fucking with
which
you.
yeah, maybe it wasn't the funniest joke. But
Yeah. Not one of
Yeah,
our.
that's right.
what? How many of our jokes are actually funny? I don't even know.
I don't know. There's been a lot of just funny ones.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. So
Yeah, who
so yeah,
knows? Maybe
we
you
went.
have to be a certain like level of to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But I
So
don't know.
so
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So that concludes the third night and final. But there
Yeah.
is still more in the morning. So yeah, basically, we wake up in the morning with the sad realization that now we
Oh
have to
my
make the
gosh.
trek back multiple times to the car and pack up everything.
We
And
should
so,
also mention that every time we have to leave our campsite, we have to pass by our neighbors
Yeah,
in
yeah.
order
We
to.
go right by.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we were moving stuff back, right? I think, you know, it was
Mhm.
nothing too crazy about the moving, other than our last trip,
The last trip, yeah.
which
oh
which
yeah.
I think I don't
Oh
think we
my
even ate
gosh.
anything that morning,
Oh,
but we
fuck.
No,
all
we got
left
up and packed.
we all left in a big group. I think we all met back at the camp with most of the stuff moved out. We made one final trip back, and as we were passing our neighbors, I can't remember who it was. I think it was you, Evan. You screamed help as
No,
we were,
this one was
No, it
Joey.
was
This one
Joey.
was Joey.
yeah. So Joey screamed
But it
help
was-
as loud as he could while we were walking past. Like you can see them when we walk past their campsite.
Yeah.
So like I think right after we passed, Joey yelled help, and as we got closer to the exit of the path, Joey, I think it was both you and Joey and probably me. We continued to
Yeah,
scream
we
help,
were doing a little bit of it.
and at this point,
It wasn't an issue until we got to like the trailhead where there were people,
yeah,
or
yeah,
where there was other campsites, sort of.
yeah. So basically, we kept yelling help. We were laughing about it. We got back to the car, packed everything up, and went our separate ways. Basically, we basically left. Right. I don't
Mhm.
think anything crazy happened. It was same
I do want to mention.
same car scenario.
The
where we
I do want to
fact that we're
mention while.
probably not welcome back there.
Yeah. Well, I do want to mention while I was pulling out with Jack and Joey, we had noticed a couple of Rangers, like the
Oh,
little
gosh.
ATVs, driving through the trails. We were
Really?
just like, oh, okay. Yeah. And
Yeah.
we were just like, oh, okay.
I didn't know that.
We'll just wait
Yeah.
for
And
them
I-
to
and-
What
to
could that have
go.
been for?
Yeah.
Well,
And I said-
yeah,
And
I'll-
I quote, "Wouldn't that be funny if they were looking for us?"
Did you actually?
yeah, he said that word for word.
Oh
Wouldn't
my
that be
word.
funny? Wouldn't that
Okay,
be
okay.
funny,
I guess
dog?
I guess I'll get to it quick. As we were driving back, I got a call from a number that I didn't recognize, and I looked at
Thank
Soren
God you
because
picked up. Oh
yeah,
my
because Soren was
gosh.
in the passenger seat. I look at Soren, I'm like, I don't know this number. And I picked up, and I imagine Soren looking at me as I was like, talking to the person on the phone. Like my mood just went from like, kind of just like happy to like, oh fuck, because it was the police, and they, I had the campsite registered in my name and everything, so that's why they called me, and so they were like, were you guys screaming help in the middle of the woods? And I was like, I said something like, yeah, I think I didn't say it was me, but I didn't say it was anyone. I was like, yeah, I think we were just joking around. I think they were just jokes or something like that. And or he probably says, I'm like, were any of you guys screaming help in the middle of the woods? I'm like, yeah, I think they were just jokes though. So and he let me know that they had half of the force out looking for us in the woods,
Oh.
and
Yeah.
like looking for us because
I
we were
just
screaming
laughed.
help in the middle of the woods.
No, who could have foreseen that this would have
Yeah, like
that doesn't have had
like-
a consequence.
and I'll say this now. Soren and Jack were both very adamant against us doing this the whole time.
No.
Yeah.
Like they did
Till
not.
the end.
I think I even
Till-
said a
until
couple
the
different times. Whenever you guys would say it, I'd be like, "No, they don't need.
Yeah,
help.
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember
They're
that.
fine."
Yeah, yeah.
Until
So
the end, when we were like 5 minutes away, I fucking gave in, dude.
yeah. So
I
I mean,
caved.
it's immature, but it's funny. Like I
it's a
don't know.
joke, but also
Maybe
very
there's no
fucking.
defending it, but if you're in it, bro, it's funny. Like yelling
Yeah.
help in the middle of the woods.
Yeah,
like,
you can't help it, bro. It's
especially because the
like-
way we would yell it, there was like an air of like, oh no, we don't like.
It-
It's not like it was wails of pain. It was just like.
yes. It was like help.
It was just straight get to the point.
It's like that. It's like the TikTok trend where you just see the
Yeah.
guys who's like, I got the new Chick-fil-A
Yeah,
drink,
yeah.
and then he screams help, and it wasn't. It's not. I don't think we were trying to convince anyone that we were like
No. It was
No,
it
in the
was
middle of the
more.
woods with a
I-
broken
even a
leg.
little
I
bit.
They
I
weren't
do want to
no
say.
screams of distress.
Either way, it was
is-
immature, and we shouldn't have done it.
No, we
but-
definitely
I
should
do
have. It's
want to
funny.
say
Hey, now we know.
there was ones that we were walking back, and I think I was walking back with Soren and Samuel.
Yeah, we
there was
had ran
few-
ahead because we ran
Yeah.
ahead. We were split up into two different groups because we had heard that you guys were gonna plot to scream help at the top of your lungs
Oh,
while you guys were
yeah.
gonna pass the neighbors.
Yeah.
So we were just like,
So-
okay, I'm just gonna run ahead so I
Yeah.
don't have to be near them.
Yeah. Yeah. So
They
so
may
yeah.
have called on us, but like if they did, like
Yeah.
big
What-
hypocrites, bro. Like, who are they to?
Yeah,
like,
we had more of
call
a
the
cause
cops
to
on
call the
us,
cops
bro.
on them. They at that point they knew we were joking because they heard us do it for like 2 days.
and they did it back
And they
at
did
some
it
point,
back.
yeah.
which was
So,
really funny.
that's
when
why I
they did
thought it
it
was
back,
them.
that was so funny.
I think it was one of the other campers because I think we were
think
doing it
probably,
close
yeah.
to other
I
campsites.
think that's probably more.
But
likely.
but basically to finish up the phone call, the officer, he said we weren't in trouble, but just to not do it again because it's stupid. Like
Yeah.
obviously.
yeah.
But he did say you're not in trouble, but it's going on the records, which to this day I'm not sure what that means.
Yeah, what does that even
it's-
mean?
I
I
don't
think
know.
it's
I don't know what
probably-
quote unquote the records are. Like what the camp.
There's this one time, like a police
Public
officer helped me like
disturbance.
jumpstart someone's car, and he had to put it in the records. Like it
Yeah,
was.
it's probably
it's-
nothing.
yeah.
I was a little worried about it, but honestly, like,
I don't think it's.
yeah, it's
I don't think it's that big of a deal. But, it was really funny.
very funny.
That was really funny.
I remember
Yeah, the
after I
phone
called you
calls.
guys, I called you guys. I'm
Yeah.
like, guess who just called me? And I let you know the situation, and you guys were kind of freaking out too. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
my heart was like sinking when you were on that, because I immediately knew, like, within like a couple like 10 seconds of the phone call, I knew it was like it was for what we had done. And
yeah.
Yeah.
We
I was
almost
pretty
made it. It
nervous,
was
but-
literally the last leg. If we did not scream help on that walk back, we would have been fine.
yeah,
Like we would have.
but we were fine anyways.
Yeah, I guess so.
On
yeah,
the last leg.
Yeah,
the
like
walk?
I think that walk back. If we didn't,
I think it was probably.
I like we would have got a call before that if they were looking for us, like last night or something.
Mhm.
So it was that
Oh,
last
man.
leg. So that was the final crazy thing to end out.
So
After that,
let's agree. When we go back camping, let's just do it 10 times louder.
yeah.
I think
about to
you're,
say,
I think you're dead on, bro. That is a.
Yeah, I was about to say if you're
I
gonna
think we
convince
should
me to
go
not yell
farther
help,
and do it
We'll just
later.
we'll just have Joey rent out
think
the
you are-
campground. So
Yeah,
it'll be on
I
his
did
record,
say-
not
I did
ours.
say, bro.
We'll get a megaphone.
Yeah, dude.
yeah. Well,
Get
so,
some special made fireworks that's spell out
Yeah.
help or some shit.
Yep.
I don't know.
Oh
I
yeah,
think so.
SOS, an SOS firework.
Yeah, a flare. But
Yeah,
yeah,
flare.
Yeah.
so I think we can agree the camping trip was better than the one we did the year previous. I know you
yeah,
weren't
that
there
one
for that, Jack.
sucked.
Yeah, but
Nah.
so hopefully next summer or next camping trip, we'll probably have one next summer. We'll
Yeah.
if the
It's gonna be. Maybe we do 5 days.
yeah, we'll talk about it on the
Oh,
podcast to
man.
be
We
sure.
would need a really good campsite to make 5 days.
Honestly, I don't know though. 3 days felt kind of.
Ah, but
good.
it would make
3
such a
days
good
was
three
good.
podcast,
3
Jack.
days.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
that's
we
true,
would
that's
imagine
true, that's
the
true.
state we would be in at that 5th day. We would like
Oh,
it would.
dude, we would want.
Yeah, I don't know. We would. Yeah, we. I think we'd
Fucking
go.
disintegrating, dude. We'd just
Dude,
be
I don't know.
melting.
Dude, already by the
brains.
third night, I was ready to just get the fuck out of there, dude.
Yeah,
I think if we had a really good
site
site with like where we don't have to like, maybe we don't have to, or if we pack well enough so we don't have to do as much walking. and
Yeah, I
there's
think-
stuff
I think we could
around there
bring-
that is like interesting to go to. I
Yeah.
think we
Yeah.
could probably do 5 days, but 3 days
we
was
could
perfect.
bring-
This was like the perfect amount of time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
So
think we could bring multiple coolers and
yep.
just
Pack
store
better,
that for-
prepare more. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
But
Maybe have like
and
a food list of
yeah, and
what
that
we will
and
eat.
we
then-
we did come to the
yeah.
conclusion that next time for food we're basically just doing like hot dogs and these like
Because they're cheap. dude,
pizza,
and
like
they're
these
good.
pizza sandwiches that we made.
Oh yeah, those were. Really
I
good.
think we're just
Dude.
sticking to that
Zach,
because
you
that's
were so good at those. Like you were like Master Chef, bro. I was like really high, and you
He
made
was fucking
it was-
cooking up, dude.
it
That
was
was-
like the best thing I think I've ever eaten.
That was
Yeah.
surprisingly
beautiful.
too, because I was not.
those things are
I
hard to
was
make.
not of sound and mind, dude. I was so
I think
gone.
you probably brought a tear to my eye. It was that beautiful when you
Yeah,
handed me that
coming
thing,
in
it was, like,
clutch.
golden brown.
Yeah, it was
I'm gonna
literally
say-
golden brown. It's crazy.
I'm gonna make one and give it to Gordon Ramsay. See how he feels about it.
Young
I think
man.
young man.
Fucking
No,
raw.
he'd be proud. No, those are really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think next time, I mean, if we're still doing this podcast,
Which we will
Um,
be.
Which
we
we
will
will
be.
be because
We
we have a
will
lot of
be.
episodes to film.
yeah.
We have lots
there
of
There will
ideas.
be
Look
another
forward.
camping story at some point.
Yes, yes.
that we will
Camping,
go over.
camping.
Camping.
It'll be awesome. But we
How
hope you
Soren
guys
is
have
gay.
enjoyed.
Yeah.
What?
Nuh-uh.
Oh wait, what?
Yeah.
And
Uh-uh.
Joe Rogan and Joe Rogan. We have to put him in the
And Joe-
thumbnail.
Oh no!
We were so close. We were so close.
I'm sorry, I had to do it. I had to do yeah.
I know this was a good episode. We did a lot here, and
Yeah.
then we had to ruin it by
Yeah.
And
talking
Joe-
about he
and
he
Joe-
who shall not be named, bro.
yeah.
He's
Joe
coming
Joe
on.
Joe
So
Rogan
get
was
ready
there
for
the whole
that.
time.
Yeah.
Yep. He was with us on the camping trip.
Yeah.
And he'll be there for the next
Oh
episode
my
too. So
God.
tune in.
Yeah.
All right,
but
let's
yeah.
wrap it up.
Yeah,
Let's
we
wrap
hope
it
you
up.
guys have enjoyed.
wow.
This is
this
a
was a
pretty
good one.
long one. This is probably like a 2-hour long podcast. But yeah.
Wow.
It's one of our best though.
Yes.
This one was
yes,
good. This one was good. I'm glad we had Jack here to
Yes,
you know
yes.
talk about give his perspective.
Let us know in the
Oh.
comments if you want him to come back.
Yeah, guys, give us more than
Nice.
like 50 views this time.
Yeah, actually like engage,
I'm
please.
kidding, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Okay.
Please.
We'll wrap it up.
Please.
See you guys.
We'll wrap it up.
Have a
Thank you,
good
guys.
day. Have a good day
Bye-bye.
and
Thank
Joe
you.
Bye,
Rogan.
guys.
Got some
Okay.
stuff to.
Okay, yeah. So Samuel, you here?
Yeah.
Damn. All right. Well, I guess we're just ready to start any time.
Right.
Basically, what we're doing is we're gonna just kind of Evan's gonna give the intro. We're
Are you already
gonna.
recording?
Yeah, I am.
All right, don't say
You
anything,
know where we left off.
Don't say anything really
Yeah,
bad.
I was telling Jack we kind of ended off right after our wrestling match. I think that's kind of what we stopped talking about, and then after, I think the rest of the night was a toothpaste incident. Soren, which we'll have to.
Wait, this can't be in the. Can we say that? Yeah, we.
Well, it's
yeah,
already in there, so
well,
we
yeah,
said
it's
it.
already in there.
It's whatever. It's whatever.
Okay. You have to say
I thought-
allegedly.
We
Can we
allegedly.
just say we
Well,
touch
well-
Soren very delicately? Delicately?
I
I
think-
think for comedic effect.
I
I
literally
think.
just took like sexual assault awareness for like like in preparation for college, but they made me take it.
Wait, so are we rolling right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Yep,
wild.
I'm also
Okay, well that's
recording our
Wait,
second
I-
take,
dude-
okay. Well
both
that's just
takes
gonna
have that whole
that will
thing in it.
that will have to be cut out.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
it can't.
dude,
It's already
I,
in there, dude.
That's
You
No,
wish.
because if that doesn't get cut out, this video won't be able to be uploaded. Or like
Yeah, but it's
it'll
already
get-
in.
We're
It'll
uploading
get
it
taken
as
down.
is,
It'll
bro.
get taken down.
It's in, dude. There's no going back now.
Okay, so yeah, I guess we're gonna keep
Hold
the
on,
whole.
wait, we gotta give.
Yeah, no. I'm just getting it, Soren. So about the whole you thing. Do you want to handle that? Like to?
Okay, dude, you need to say allegedly, or this video is going to get taken down.
I can cut any of this out, bro.
It's all for comedic effect.
Yeah, bro.
It's,
He's
it
right
doesn't
here.
work.
He's here.
YouTube doesn't care. YouTube does not care.
I'm gonna. Yeah.
I don't know if we can put that.
All right, Austin, you're gonna have to learn because that shit's coming out.
I don't know.
Soren,
Wait. Isn't it only in like the first like minute that you say something bad? That
Yeah, probably.
No. If
Soren-
it's in
Soren,
the
by the
video,
way,
they
your
can,
mic's
they'll
cutting
just
out
take
bad.
it down.
no,
Might
no,
be.
but like
Yeah,
like
bro.
iDubbbz would say like is good and like.
Well,
his
that was
video
like
back-
20.
Yeah, that was
Dude, that was like
No,
2013.
yeah, they've updated their terms of service
You
since
can't
then.
talk about.
No, you can't. No,
I say you guys' name, then you say hi,
Sure, if
doing
you
that?
want to.
and then I'll
It's,
be like,
it's up to you. I guess
special guest this
honestly,
episode.
whoever's doing intros can just kind of choose how they want to do it.
All
That's
right,
it.
all right.
So I guess just
All right,
if that's what
just
you want to do.
roll with it because I'll start and then I'll say the N word and then.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
Perfect.
All right,
I
start
think that's
whenever.
what we need.
Start whenever.
All right. Quiet in the audience.